We're live.
That's just how I do it.
How we do it?
Ooh,
email. Yes.
Is the Pokemon related to Bill Paxton? Because today is his birthday. May he rest in peace.
I just saw him on TikTok yesterday, and no, unfortunately, it's not. I don't know how many Bill Paxton related Pokemon there are.
Paxtachu.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, webisode 976. The Veluza Podcast. MomBrain, will you tell us about Veluza, please?
Yes, I will. Veluza. When Veluza discards unnecessary flesh, its mind becomes honed and its psychic power increases. That's what happens when I menstruate. I discard unnecessary flesh.
Not the second part?
Look, there is maybe psychic power, but my mind is like the opposite of honed. It's becoming duller every day.
We are getting up there in years.
It is really something. The spare flesh has a mild, and also like when I menstruate, the spare flesh has a mild but delicious flavor.
Oh no! Oh.
It's 8 feet tall, 200 pounds, male and female. The category is jettison, and ability includes Mold Breaker, where the Pokemon's moves are unimpeded by the ability of the target. And already, guys, this is the end of the Pokemon section.
Nice, clear, and loud, and directly into the mic from you. Great job, MomBrain.
Thank you. I'm trying.
MomBrain is here.
She is.
How are you?
Nice.
Oh, okay. I'll take. You've had a nice day so far, I guess.
I have had a nice day so far.
I am here. Hello, me. How are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm great. Deux is here.
Uku.
How are you doing?
Uku.
No Nicky Hill this week. He is working somewhere else. We speak his name
Nicky
now.
Hill, we speak your name.
Shout out to my bros.
Josh Grobot is here. How you doing, Josh?
Is this thing on?
It's on. You're live, baby.
I'm a party animal.
Wait, I mean, I've heard. What are you going to any parties this week? Any big shindigs?
That's none of your business.
As expected. All right.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And speaking of hell yeah, George is here. George, how are you doing?
But George, no.
You have a good week, George? Everything go well?
Yeah, it's getting warm. It must be summer lime.
That's right. We're getting close to summer lime. Have a nice sit on the porch with a nice lime spritzer and look out into the distance and what's the word I'm looking for? Be enamored with your lime crops. It must be a really nice feeling.
It ain't too shabby.
Hello, Rotzel and Retsuza and then Nintendo. Am I crazy? Are people's names different colors in here? At least some of them. And SD and Radical Defect and Drake and NicoDarunia, who don't worry, NicoDarunia, I didn't forget. Oh boy, I'm losing my mind. And Blood Ocean and Malik Halo and SD. And did I say Rotzel? And the 8-Bit Lego and Sorrel and Tony De La Mancha and Ice Stillbird and whoever else I didn't see or is coming in now. Thanks for joining us. And
good
a happy
crew.
weekend
Good
to all
crew.
of you. Some would say the best crew. All right. We got some things to talk about, but first things first, let's get to this. NicoDarunia reached out, and this is completely my fault, so I apologize, and we will correct it now. Last week, NicoDarunia got in touch because May 8th was their birthday. Happy belated birthday, NicoDarunia. What's that? That's what we're looking for. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, NicoDarunia. Happy birthday to you. And he was hoping that Josh and George would sing him a happy birthday. So there you go. Wow, why is that so loud? Hit me with that again. Give me applause. Pretty loud. You could turn it down. It's the wire. Like if I turn the wire a certain way, I need a new wire, basically.
Oh, yeah, hear it?
Oh, fix that. There you go. Now hit it. Definitely
Seems a little better, right?
better. Definitely better. You could probably go down one more. Did I do it?
Please clap.
There you go. I like that. I like that one. Thanks, MomBrain. Sorry about that, everybody. Well, give me the lesser applause.
Outstanding.
I am a real hero.
Now you are a real hero.
There you go.
Wow.
Wow. All right, we got that out of the way as promised. Not out of the way, but making up for my mistake.
Taken care of.
Taken care of. That's correct. Those are some great gifts. Okay. What do I have to talk about before we get into other stuff? I got one clickbait for you this week. So we got one quick masturbators session if you guys are up
Feel
for
like
it.
it's been a while.
Yeah, I keep an eye out every week for clickbait, and it hasn't been too bad. They've just been like $80 game prices are crazy, and all that, instead of clickbaiting stuff, it's just rage baiting.
Yeah.
But we do have one clickbait from this week, and MomBrain and Deux, I offer it up to you, and you can tell me what you think it's about. Nintendo just made one of its most unexpected moves ahead of Switch 2 launch. Don't look at it.
They moved one of their offices somewhere different.
That would be unexpected.
Wow.
Is that what this is about? We'll find out.
They announced a sequel to the Mario movie.
Oh man, that is such a good clickbait because it's totally not unexpected. But somebody would do that. Unfortunately, that's not what it is here. Neither of you are correct. I'm sorry, but Deux, you are honed in. That's exactly the line of thinking for clickbait.
I think like a masturbator.
That's
Oh wait.
Here's what it's actually about. Nintendo hired someone. They hired a man called Kazuhiko Hachiya. Kazuhiko
Called
Hachiya.
Bowser Jr.
We posted about this because it was an interesting hire, but their most unexpected move ahead of Switch 2 launch. This has nothing to do with Switch 2 in any way, shape, or form. It's just, every fiscal year when they do their report, Nintendo, or it might be every quarter, they put out the report saying, like, here's the people in line for promotions of what we are thinking about giving them their new title, and here's the new recruits as long as they're approved. And that's it. They do it I think it's every quarter. It might be every year, but they do it all the time. It's not crazy or unexpected. If anything, it is regularly expected. But I guess this outlet, which is a major outlet, is saying that the person they hired is really unexpected, although it has, again, nothing to do with Switch 2. Kazuhiko Hachiya has been picked to join Nintendo's board of directors. I'll tell you, I will say this. His history is interesting. So he works at a doll manufacturer in Japan that's been there for a long time. But that's the least of the interesting things he does. He created the Open Sky project.
Oh, that was him.
Which is they worked on a motor glider based on the plane you see in Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind,
How cool
Miyazaki.
is that?
So
What the hell?
he's got a video of it and everything.
Man, that sounds kind of cool.
But that's not all that he's done. He also created a wearable device that allows the wearers to see through each other's eyes. So you and me would wear them, and I would see what you should be seeing, and you would see what I should be seeing.
That's got to be unsettling.
Right? He also made an airboard, which is his version of the hoverboard from Back to the Future, and there is a video of that as well. He made it in 1997.
He's bringing all these great fictional things to life.
That's, I mean, I will say, like, his history of weird or strange or offbeat accessories does fit in with Nintendo very well. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but what else?
Labo 2.
That's
I'm sorry.
right.
Labo 2.
Labo 2. Yes, the doll company was called Petworks. It's still around. They've been around in Japan for a very long time. He also created something called PostPet. It's an email app, and it attempts to make corporate emailing more fun by having a little creature.
Ew.
Hold on, a little creature, a dancing pink bear named Momo, and that bear
But I've seen everything.
hangs out on your computer to deliver emails for you. So when you send an email at work, you see Momo go over and take the email and run away with it to your coworkers.
Wow.
So his way of thinking and the things that he's done are very Nintendo-esque. But what is he going to do at Nintendo as a board member? I don't know. But according to this outlet, it's the most unexpected move Nintendo could ever make ahead of the Switch 2 launch. Call me crazy. I might think that's a little bit of hyperbole and especially clickbait, but the masturbators love it. So there you go.
What was that man's name again?
His name is Kazuhiko Hachiya. You want me to spell it?
No, thanks.
Okay. Kazuhiko Hachiya. And he is now part of Nintendo as long as it's approved. Whoa, 16,000 steps, Retsuza. That's a lot in a day. Burned 1,800 calories. Holy moly. Yeah, Deux and I were lamenting last week after the podcast that we forgot to complain about Community Day because we had to do Community Day last week. And Deux was like, damn it, I forgot to talk about Community Day again. And we both don't like doing it and get frustrated that it comes around and we forgot to talk about it. But
yeah, for once, though, this particular Community Day finally kickstarted my butt into gear. So I've been walking this week finally again. But what annoys me about that Pikmin Bloom is if you don't open the app that day, it doesn't seem, at least for me, it doesn't record my steps. So because I kind of was out of it and I was trying to get back into it and didn't, forgot all about Pikmin Bloom. A couple of days didn't count my steps.
That sucks.
Ooh.
Feels like I didn't even walk at all.
When it comes to Community Day, I always make sure like I open the app and let it hit me with all of its notifications, get to the main screen, close it, open it again, just because I'm paranoid because I'm like, I'm not doing these 10,000 steps again. I saw in the Discord, Retsuza is having a Loop the Loop, which is an ice cream thing. I don't know what that is, so I looked it up. It is lemon sherbet flavor.
Ooh.
But it looks like I need to learn more. Loop the Loop, tangy. Oh, George, tangy lime flavor, water ice, and lemon flavor sherbet in a chocolate flavor coating. There you go, man. That's what I was looking at because it seems like it's chocolate on one part and you bite in to get the lemon or the lime. Very refreshing for the summer weather,
Absolutely.
for the hot spring weather. That looks good. Did I sell that here? Because the first thing that came up is not our country, not my country. 30 classic Irish ice creams, and that is the image that's chosen. Man, Irish. It's green, of course. It was all right there. I should have known.
Yeah.
Hi, Nemo. Good to see you. Nemo says, when is this live podcast supposed to start? And it starts right now.
Wait a minute. It's lime flavor. Did we talk about that?
Lemon. Yeah, that's why I pointed out to George. Lemon, lime, and it has a chocolate coating.
Top of the morning to me. God, wow.
George, I didn't know you were Irish.
For that ice cream, I could be a little Irish.
I thought maybe it's just because you love the color green, but yeah, I mean, ice cream is a perfect reason to pretend you're from another country. Perfect for the summer lime. That's right, NicoDarunia. All right.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I saw a TikTok yesterday of the lady with the wobbly popsicle. It was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I want to try them.
We saw them.
I know, and I said I wanted to try them, and
But
you
you
didn't
did-
take them.
There were two
You're
of us.
the adult when we go to the supermarket,
So
without
tired
a
of being
doubt.
the adult.
If you don't grab it and go put it in the cart, think about it. Think about it.
Nothing would go in the cart. You're like, nah, too much money.
Well, think about it all the time. When we're at the supermarket, I'll like pick something up and I'll go over to you and I'll be like, can we get it?
Yeah.
True?
always. And I feel like people are like, ooh, she's one of those.
No.
Like I'm not.
No,
You know, can we
they
get
think
it,
what's
please?
really, no, it's very obvious what they're thinking. And I've made this joke before in the podcast. They look at us and they're like, oh, she's helping out that autistic man. They think you're my caretaker. So I'm running up to be like, can we get this treat? And you're like, yes, put it in the cart. Because I'm like that guy.
Kind of is your caretaker, though.
Yeah. Oh, I don't
along with
dispute
everything
it.
else.
Yeah, without a doubt. No dispute there. What's that show on Netflix with that guy? You know,
Love on the Spectrum?
Derek.
Speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh,
that's
sorry.
what I'm like. I wish I could remember that guy's whole name, but it's gone. All right. There's other things I wanted to talk about. What do we got today? We did clickbait. Oh, yes. This thing. Oh, I put my legs up and I got to take them down. I got something in the mail today. It looks like a very old book.
Holy
MomBrain,
cow.
do you remember the name of the company?
And
that
you
sent
love
this?
books now.
Something cats, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, now. Hold on. I can look this up. You want to hold on to this book for me for a second while I take this?
Sure.
You can feel free to talk about books because you love books.
You know, well, Radical Defect said, as a disabled guy, it's frightening how much my spouse is confused for my sibling. I keep being told, you're a good brother. I wildly gesture at my wedding ring. And interestingly enough, I have a friend who, she's a woman, married to a woman. And
Name a woman.
they get asked on the reg if they'll have separate checks, like when they go out to eat, like, oh, separate checks, and they're like, no, we're married, like one check is fine, thank you very
We're married,
much.
but yes.
I was like, wow, what a, like, I don't know, like an unnecessary question anyway to ask, like, I don't know, and to
I
just
don't
be
know.
like, to just assume separate checks and not just say, like, I don't know,
I
like,
need to see them. I need to see them.
it doesn't matter.
That
That-
doesn't happen to the two of you, right?
No,
No.
never.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it's
what
because
is
it's two
going-
women. So they're like, oh, you couldn't possibly be
Oh, I
married or like a
guess that's
couple.
what
But,
You
I,
must
but
be
I need to see them.
girlfriends.
They might look like their sisters.
They don't look like their sisters.
I need to see them.
This is kind of like
Thank you.
when Jerry in Seinfeld, when Jerry sits down with that gay guy and then the other gay guy comes up and like starts hitting on the gay guy and he's
Yeah.
like, you don't assume that we're together? What's going on? Right
Yeah.
in front of me, you're doing this?
That's what it's like. Exactly.
It's exactly that.
Mega Cat Studios has gotten in touch with us to send us this book, except it's not a book. It's a book, except it's not. This is for Echoes of the Unread, which is you're gonna love this. It's a music-based platformer where your choices matter and it has multiple endings. Wield the magic of music in Echoes of the Unread, a whimsical platformer for the NES, brand new NES game.
Cool.
Song slinging adventure throws you into a living library where you'll battle with melodies, solve sonic puzzles, and explore worlds beyond your imagination. There is a Kickstarter. Did it launch now? So, man, I should look. I'm going to check on a Kickstarter in a second. But they sent me this really cool press kit with a
Do they hollow out the
wax
book and
sealed
put in a
note
flask?
with the game's logo and everything. MomBrain, care to read this
Yes, my
note
dear.
because you have a lovely
Echoes
reading
of
voice.
the
Do I?
Unread.
Thank you.
You're a teacher. It's part of the profession.
Oh my gosh, dude, get ready.
Uh-oh.
Hi. No, sorry. Allow me to start over.
Hi, how are you?
My name is Odell.
Oh.
Odele. So I'm assuming Odell. I'm a kid stuck
Odell.
in this stupid library. The librarian is mean. She doesn't let me leave. But you would, right? Because otherwise you're the worst like her. The librarian keeps a quill in the library. I want it. It would make me happy. You could get it for me. I, crossed out, we will be unstoppable. If you need any help, which I'm sure you will, I guess you can talk with the others, but help me first, not them. P.S. Don't worry about the librarian. She should be out of the way. Just get me out of here. P.P.S. Why are you still reading this? Time is wasting. Odell.
Thanks, MomBrain. That was
Folks, right
great.
now.
I posted a link to the Kickstarter in the Discord. The Kickstarter has not launched yet, but you can put in your email to be notified when it does launch to help fund this for NES and whatever other stretch goals there are.
I don't trust it. I don't trust Odell. I'm just going to say it.
But here's the coolest part. What else is in here? An NES cartridge for Echoes of the Unread. That is an actual NES cartridge, but even cooler, it's a prototype. It's not even the real final version, but I got a prototype to check out. I am so excited
Wait,
to give
can
this
I
a
see it?
try. Yeah. What's up?
Look at the back. That picture. I want a sticker of that cat.
That's
It
the
must be the
company. That's
company's
Mega
logo.
Cat Studios logo.
It's
Do
great.
not store in extreme temperatures. Do not immerse in water. Do or do not. There is no try. A little Star Wars joke on the back there. But prototype cartridge. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a black cartridge. That's pretty cool. So Kickstarter, there will be a physical release, all that good stuff. But I will be sharing impressions of the game. I plan on checking it out this weekend. I have to sneak into the secret portion of our basement to get the NES to give it a go. But desperate times call for desperate measures. So does it smell like an NES cartridge?
It's getting there. It needs like 20 years.
Should I taste it? Does it taste like an NES cartridge?
That's a real fancy package. I like it.
I know. Very cool. Thanks. Very cool. So thank you to Mega Cat Studios for that. They reached out because I know I'm a sucker for new old school games, and they said they had a cool press kit. I was not asked to do any of this. I just thought it was cool, so I'm sharing it with you. And we will let you know when the Kickstarter actually goes live. But
Very
like
cool.
I said, you can sign up at the link, and you will be notified.
Any word on the Game Boy Advance version that we're all clamoring for?
Well, since it's being made for the NES, I don't know that there will be a GBA version, but I'm sure there will be a digital version at some point for modern platforms. That might be a Kickstarter stretch goal. I don't know. I can't see any of the plans for the Kickstarter outside of that. Let me scan the press release very quickly. It does not say anything about that, so we'll find out together. All right, that's that. What else we got? We did that. Okay, when we did that, now we can get over to Patreon. MomBrain,
Yes.
did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon
For $1.
for $1? And thank you to the handful of people that just recently joined in the last couple of weeks. It's very much appreciated. What is going on over at the GoNintendo Kickstarter? Well, let me tell you. This week I talked about Donkey Konga because last week, right after the podcast, we played some Donkey Konga because
And Piper felt like this about it.
Piper was very
poor
upset
thing.
about it. What the hell is
Grimbles?
Yes, thank you. I keep forgetting that. Grimbles is a very big fan of Donkey Konga. He didn't know it existed until he knew me, I believe. And then last time he was here a while ago, he played it and fell in love with it and has been talking about it ever since. So when he came over last week, I made sure the GameCube was set up in the living room and he played some more Donkey Konga. And Deux played Donkey Konga, and Rhinoceros played Donkey Konga. Pretty much everybody played Donkey Konga and had a great time with it. So I talked about Donkey Konga in general and just how it's funny, like these multiple decades later, we're still getting joy from that silly bongo game.
Yeah.
And how I need to get the other versions of the game. I need to get the sequel, which I don't know why I never got it back in the day. Then there's a third game that came out in Japan that I never got. Then there's other region versions. I believe Colma told me altogether there's seven different versions of Donkey Konga. So I need to at least get one more. Like my first goal is a Donkey Konga 2, just because that's a whole new pack of songs. And then I know there's the mod out there to basically play whatever song you want. So I'd like to look into that and blah, 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 blah. But it's just a cool little throwback. And it was funny hooking up the GameCube in the living room again and just all those noises and
All that stuff's great.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a silly question? Do you think that when they came up with Donkey Konga, they started with the name? Do you think someone was like Donkey Konga and then they were like, we could like Konga, like what if we made like a Konga music game with Donkey Kong? Or do you like?
I got no.
They had to start with the name. There's no way they were like, let's make a music game with congas. Oh, who do we use? Donkey Kong, obviously. I mean, even if his name wasn't Donkey Kong, I feel like he'd be the most Konga oriented of all their mascots.
When I imagine maybe like Nintendo was looking at the music game boom and they were like, what could we do in the music game? And they were like, well, what's the easiest instrument everybody could tackle? And they were like, drums. And some people are like, oh, there's a lot of drums. And they were like, well, what about bongos? There's only 2 of them. And they're like, oh, all right. And then from there, they probably went like, what makes sense here? And then the name, somebody spoke up about the name. So I'm sure there's an interview out there somewhere that might explain where it all came from. But we haven't seen anything.
I feel like it's not loud enough.
So turn it up then. Or twist the wire. We haven't seen anything from Donkey Konga since the
Boom, Tetris for Jeff.
It's very quiet now. You are correct. Just go back up. I don't. It's that wire. I got to get a new wire. I'll get a new wire this week.
Boom, Tetris for Jeff.
That's better.
But now, what if I go back to the applause? Let's see.
Well, that seems good. It's the wire. I'm telling you. It's the-
Unbelievable.
We haven't seen anything from Donkey Konga since the GameCube, which is sad. We have seen Donkey Kong Jungle Beat get the new Play Control re-release on the Wii, which is fine, but I still think that game should be played with the bongos. That's how it was made, and I would say it's a much better experience with the bongos than it is with the Wiimote and Nunchuck, but that's just me. Oh, Blood Ocean, perfect. Get in that Discord, MomBrain. You see that?
Oh yeah.
I did not say Go Nintendo Kickstarter. There will be no such thing. I can't even imagine. I won't say never because I don't know what'll come up, but I have no plans. Hello, Fluffernutter. Oh, sorry. Did I say that? Go Nintendo Patreon, not Go Nintendo Kickstarter. Go Nintendo Patreon. I'm so sorry. I was talking about a Kickstarter. Go Nintendo Patreon for $1. Go Nintendo Kickstarter does not exist. Thank you for clearing that up. So anyway, Donkey Kong. I talked about that. I also talked about shoot 'em ups or shmups because it's a genre I really like, but I don't play all that much. And I've really been getting the itch lately to change that. I want to, because the Switch is a great platform for shmups. There's so many, and that includes old ones, new ones, collections of old ones with new ones in them as well. There's just so many options out there. And I really do like the genre. I just don't spend that much time with it. And that's a real shame because I have a platform that is perfect for it. And has so many options. And I was looking to you guys for recommendations. So we talked about that. And of course, I mentioned Einhander, which I think Square released that digitally at some point. I don't know. I'm going to look that up.
I want to hear Rick Steve say Einhander because I feel like that's something. Einhander.
Well, get
It was just his birthday the other day.
Yeah. Last wasn't it last Saturday? Yeah.
It might have been.
I mentioned it on the podcast, I think.
I was not.
PlayStation.
podcast.
We spoke his name.
I'm glad.
I don't know that it's been released anywhere else, even digitally. It just says PlayStation on the wiki. No, here we go. It's also re-released for the Japanese PlayStation Network in June 2008. So that's it. Only Japan got it after that. What the hell?
It wasn't that weird of a game. Why didn't it come to the States? I feel like the US would have liked a game like that.
It did. It came to the copy I own.
Oh, okay.
is
You're
American
just talking
copy.
about the re-release.
Re-release
digital.
afterwards.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
for some reason the digital re-release was only in Japan in 2008. I don't understand. Yeah, that's like I guess that's a real hidden gem of the PlayStation era. That and Intelligent Cube. I guess Intelligent Cube is probably more well known, but that is definitely a gem of
Intelligent Cube. We at least can get on the PlayStation Network over here.
a game. Yeah. Great soundtrack, great puzzle game. Perfect. Really love that game. Man, that was such a cool game. But yeah, Einhander I talked about, and then there's so many. Life Force and Gradius and boy, I'm completely blanking. There's so many, and they're all leaving my mind at the moment. But I talked to you guys, Ikaruga. I talked to you guys about what ones you would recommend checking out, and you gave me some great recommendations, and I made myself a little list. So thank you. I also talked about American Gladiators because it's coming back.
Right?
What did I say? That's right. What did I say? Competitors ready? Gladiators ready? I know it was
Yeah.
Gladiators ready, but was it
I
Competitors
think
ready?
it's competitors.
Competitors ready?
You know the story
Gladiators,
about
ready?
Joth and I and that, right?
I don't. Please tell me.
Well, when we were young ladies, there's a stream that runs behind the house, and we used to pretend we were American Gladiators in the stream.
Nice.
And
Did you
whoever
used to
could-
pretend you were actually the gladiators, or were you contestants?
Oh, we had names:
Oh.
Lace
all about
and
this.
Undies.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
You can guess which one I was.
Lacer.
And we would play American Gladiators in the stream, and whoever got dunked first lost.
That's sounds like fun.
It was
Is there a
great.
track record?
You'd have to ask her.
Would you two do it again now?
Absolutely, and I
Oh
would
my God.
absolutely murder
Challenge
her.
it. Throw down the gauntlet. Let's
She
hear it.
would break like a.
Give me,
like
come on,
a-
wrestling promo. Go now. Don't scream, but.
You listen up, Lace.
Mhm.
You're out here tiptoeing around, drinking your coffee, getting soft. I've been hardening up all these 20 years and I'm ready to take you down and you're never gonna forget what it feels like to be slammed by undies.
Okay. We'll need a response from her. I'll make sure I send her that clip later today. See what she's got to say.
Are you or are you not going to take on Lace in the next WrestleMania?
Blood Ocean, that is great. So I wrote about American Gladiators because it is coming back for the third time. The first time, which was the one everybody knows, was fantastic. The second time, I believe, was in 2008, and I was so excited for it. And it was hosted by Hulk Hogan, who at the time, I don't remember when his fall from grace happened, the whole racism and all that stuff. I don't know if it was that point or not, but that revival was a real struggle for me because they did it like they do American Ninja Warrior or other game shows. And this is especially NBC is known for this kind of stuff. They do like, here's the game show, but first, here's a 5-minute interview or a 5-minute look behind the scenes at their family life and why they're, and it's like, oh, I got to work 3 jobs and my kids can't afford to eat. And I'm like, I don't care about any of this stuff. Like, get up on the podium and smack each other with that Q-tip thing. Like, I don't care about hearing this. Like, do it like Jeopardy. Play some of the game. Then if you're still around halfway through, let's have a little 1-minute chat where you tell me something I don't give a crap about. And then we go back to the fun. I don't want the show to be like 1/3 interviews and behind the scenes, if not more than that, at least half of that stuff, and then half competition. It ruined it. So that revival didn't go well. I believe it was canceled after, it's either 1 season or 2 seasons. But man, I did not like that revival.
That stuff is crazy to me. It's like, okay, we had a hit back in the day. We're going to revive it. What made it work back then?
Yeah.
Should we try to do it, similar to how we did it? No, let's change some stuff and add in some crap.
Yeah, I don't understand. You're exactly right. I don't understand why networks, because it's the heads of networks and big wig executives who are making the calls and are like, okay, let's bring it back, but we got to modernize it. So it needs this, that, and the other thing. And you're like, no, you don't understand that. Like, the reason it was popular back then, if you don't have that in the beginning, then it's probably not going to be popular now. You need to at least start with that. Like, don't detract from back then. Sure, go online and have, there's archivists and whatever that can go online and be like, here's what all the dorks are saying about American Gladiators. Here's the things that they really miss, and here's the things that they wish the show did. Then go from there. Nobody's going, like, nobody on American Gladiators subreddits are like, I wish they did more testimonials and interviews with competitors. Like, nobody's saying that. Yeah. They're like, here's a cool idea for a new challenge that they could do or something like that.
Or make Assault the entire freaking show.
Exactly.
Like, I mean,
right?
Like, I don't care. Like, maybe, I don't want to hear their testimonials. Like you said, I want Assault. I want Joust. I want that hand bike thing. I want them to swing on and grab each other and take them down. And I want like, if anything, I want more about the gladiators. Like, I don't want to know like their testimonials necessarily, but I do want like maybe like make it fun for them or something.
But do you want, so let's say they give Gladiator backstory.
When will you wear wigs?
Do you want it real or do you want it wrestling
I want
style?
it to be like wrestling style.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Because,
Glacier, born in a glacier.
Right? Like, I just feel like there's something about that show that was like great, but it's still kind of a ridiculous concept.
Oh yeah.
So like I'm not saying go full ridiculous, but just like lean into that ridiculousness because it's such a silly thing kind of on the grand scheme of things. So I think it would lend itself real well to that. And they already have like cool names like Gemini and Turbo and Nitro and
Laser,
Siren. I don't know. They were cool. Like there was a mystique about them, and that's what I want them to lean into. Or like the Running Man, like make it like the Running Man, where it's like you've got people in the crowd dressed up in the colors of the gladiator, and they want to see like.
And that's the other thing. Like they would do, real, in WWE events and any wrestling events, you have people in the crowd dressed like wrestlers, and they're holding up signs for wrestlers, and that's all genuine. But then you get stuff like American Ninja Warrior, where they are giving people signs to hold up and like banners to hold, and it's very clear they're plants, and they stick out like sore thumbs, and that ruins that experience.
And it's also so frustrating because you don't need plants. Like, people have enough great, crazy ideas and things to say that like you don't have to try.
How about you just make the damn show and let the actual fans get excited about it, and then they'll show that excitement. I've said it a whole bunch of times before. ABC, when they do their game show revivals, they do them exactly how I think is correct, and I think a lot of people agree because it's been bore out in how many times they return for new seasons. ABC respected the original shows. They updated the sets somewhat. They kept the theme music roughly the same, and they didn't really go beyond what those shows are. Like, the biggest thing they went beyond was Press Your Luck, where they added a second half of the show. But the second half of the show is still one person playing Press Your Luck for higher stakes, sure, and there's a little bit of sob story in there. But most of the time, they're just playing the game. That's fine. Like, clearly, the people in charge were like, okay, we can modernize it a bit, but the core still has to be people playing Press Your Luck.
Exactly.
So I think that went a long way. And again, Press Your Luck is still on now. So they've... I really like how they modernize or revive their game shows. I don't like how CBS does it. Hollywood Squares right now is a disaster. It's not funny. They force everything. It's very clear that like they've given some of the celebrities like bits that they're supposed to like play off of. It's so frustrating because the original Hollywood Squares and even the 90s version, it was just celebrities being stupid and having fun. You could see there were genuine back and forth there. And now they're trying to manufacture that, and that ruins it. Nintendo says Hollywood Squares sucks ass. You're right.
It wasn't just ass. It was sucks ass.
Sucks ass.
Yeah. Lingered on it.
Sorry, I was taking a drink. So it's frustrating. ABC is the only one I feel I got it right. Will American Gladiators, this revival, work? I don't know, but it's being handled by Amazon. Amazon has Pop Culture Jeopardy, which I think is fantastic. It's very much Jeopardy, pop culture slant, a little bit of humor, no sob stories. They just interview like they usually do on Jeopardy. I think it's done.
Johnny Gilbert?
Johnny Gilbert's there. I think Colin Jost is a great host. Didn't mean to rhyme. I think they did an excellent job at that. So if anything, that gives me a little hope that American Gladiators will work out. So I wrote about it because when we were kids, American Gladiators was the crap. Like, we loved that show. I said it was the only thing on Saturday mornings that was live action that I didn't get mad when it came on. Like, I got up Saturdays to watch cartoons, and eventually it'd be like, here's Jack Hanna with some lemur, and I'm like, get off the TV, asshole.
All right.
I want to see cartoons, but when American Gladiators came on, I was like, okay, this is great. I'm totally happy with this.
Yeah.
Blood Ocean Supermarket Sweep is not happening, and see, I think that was a good revival as well. Leslie Jones. Leslie Jordan is dead. Leslie and an old white man. Leslie Jones is not dead, and a black woman.
One time, Mama and them.
Oh, I miss him.
That's what we say when we want to include everybody, Mama and them.
How y'all doing? I thought she did.
I'm gonna say that at like an IEP meeting. I'm just gonna when I tell about the kid. One time, Mama and them.
Hi, Rakia. Good to see you.
Great.
Yep.
Thank you, Rakia. That's the highest compliment I've ever received. Rakia says, whenever I see a game show on TV, I think of RMC. I love my game shows. Leslie Jones was the whole reason Supermarket Sweep had a revival. And I know a lot of people don't like her and don't like her humor or don't think she's funny. I don't think she's all that funny. I think she can be funny. I think her comedy is mostly her just like yelling. And sometimes that works for me and sometimes that doesn't. There's people who can just like Will Ferrell can yell and it's funny to me. Leslie Jones can yell and I'm like, give or take. It all depends on who's doing it. But for that show, for me, what really worked was she's the whole reason the show came back, and you could see she was genuinely excited to be hosting and to be there. Like, she was happy to be a part of that show. When people would win at the end, she would cry. Like, that made the show for me. And as far as just regular supermarket sweep stuff, I thought the show was great. It was pretty much the same as the old show used to be. Couple minor tweaks here and there, but I really liked it. I was very disappointed it got canceled. It only got 3 seasons, but it also got screwed by the pandemic. So it was a bad situation altogether. But I really liked that revival. So, and I keep seeing people talk about it in the Discord, so I will mention it. I'm not ignoring you. Guts, Nickelodeon Guts do. I'm sorry to bring up a sore point because you were not a cable kid.
Now. It's okay.
MomBrain, Guts. Did you watch Guts when you were a kid?
No.
I did. I was never excited for Guts, but it always made me laugh. So I would watch it. I wouldn't like turn off the TV when it came on, but I liked it. And I liked watching people climb the aggro crag because I sucked at it. And I hate Mike O'Malley, but we've been through that a million times.
You're so funny, man. How because sometimes you're just like, oh, I love when people suck at this or whatever, and then it's like, and then when the lady won, she cried, and then I cried. It's like, wait, do you hate these people or do you love these people?
I mean, I
get it.
I like seeing people win. Unless they're Price is Right people that are like pieces of garbage. Oh my God.
You can get a good feel of people sometimes real quick.
I'm so sorry to keep going down this rabbit hole, but hello, Darmani. Good to see you. If you listen to the show, you know that this is what I do. Price is Right. Where did I see this clip? Oh, it was on.
Were you watching on the treadmill like a couple days ago? Because you were clapping a lot, and then there was one where you're like, "Come on!" Like,
it's funny because while I
so
was
loud.
watching, I was reacting, and I hit a point where I was like, "MomBrain's gonna know I'm watching The Price is Right." Yes, I recorded the Price is Right at night episode for the treadmill.
Well, that's big high stakes.
Well, I'll tell you. Hold on. Let me do this story, and then I'll do my next Price is Right story, and then I promise we'll get to Nintendo news. It must have been Reddit or TikTok where there was a Price is Right clip, and they were like, watch people trying to bid on the Apple Vision Pro, which they had on the Price is Right at night. So it comes out, they show it, and people are like, 1,000, 1,200, 1,700, and then Drew is like $3,500, and everybody's like, oh my God, like shocked that it's that much. So the clip was all about how nobody realizes what this thing is or how expensive it is. And then I went to the comments, which never go to the comments.
Never do
and
that.
people were like, that guy bid 1,200. If the next guy just bid 1,201, he would have won it right away. And I was like, and it had all these thumbs up, and they were like, I don't understand why they didn't just bid $1 more. And I'm like, oh, you people, I can't do this. And as I know I've talked about it on the podcast before, I think people that do that are bad people. I'm sorry. I know it's a way to play the game, and I know it's a good way to potentially get yourself up on stage, and I get it. I'm saying, for me, I could never do that. I'm going to give you at least a $200 buffer. I'm going to give you wiggle room.
What's the buffer number?
$50 is too small. There's a lady who gave like $150 buffer every time she voted, and I was like, I see what you're doing here.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. And she got up there eventually. It took a while.
I think 150 is a good buffer. That's nice.
I don't, everybody's
close
there
enough for me to feel okay with missing.
Yes.
If it means I did the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel good about that.
You're like, everybody's there in contestants row. Everybody wants to get up on the Price is Right and play. Yes, like I really want to get up there, but I don't want to completely squash everybody else's dreams. I want, like, this is a once in a lifetime thing mostly for people. I want to give everybody at least a fair shot. Like, unless it's something where I'm like, I definitely know the price of this thing, I am going right here.
Sure.
Other than that, I'll give you wiggle room. I'm not going to put you in front of a firing squad for doing it, but I will think about you forever as a bad person.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, you're it's a game, and you're there to win.
That's the game.
Like, I agree. Like, I don't know that I could do it, although I don't know. I might get on that stage and be really tempted and be like, you know what? It's a game.
And then we break up.
Well, except if I won like one of those really cool like golf cart scooter things that we saw.
There's room to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what would happen if I got up there? It'd be like the double trip showcase or some garbage like that.
And you'd pee your pants.
What are you talking about?
You'd be just so excited you'd pee your pants.
You could probably
for trips?
No, just in general. Just that you got up there.
No, I would not pee my pants. I would cry
There's
repeatedly.
Gotta be like a cash alternative to these prizes, right? If you don't want them.
I would imagine there is, yes. I would imagine there's circumstances where people just legitimately cannot travel like that. So yeah, I would imagine they do something.
Well,
But,
yeah, the
yeah,
state of flight.
I know
right
I would,
now.
yeah, right. I know I would get up there and I'd play a game for like a trip to Maui and a popcorn cart, like two things
like
I
a
don't
pontoon
want at
boat.
all. Yeah, and
Well,
I'd
a
play
popcorn cart is a perfect
Yeah.
example.
a jukebox, and it'd be like two
That, like,
things I
came
really
out
don't
on a little
want.
train.
Yeah,
One of the models was
and it wouldn't even
driving
be
You're
like
is it the train?
it
Can I
wouldn't
have
even-
the train?
it wouldn't even be like one of their games. It'd be like the filler game in between commercials. So it'd be like the bargain game, and it's like one of these is cheaper than the other. That's whatever. But yes, I can't even watch the show and even a little bit think about what it would be like to be there because I cry just watching it. I cry watching it all the time. I cried during this episode, and you asked what was going on because I was clapping a lot. Price is Right at night. Stakes are higher. One of the contestants was playing one of those crap games that's not really a game. And Drew was like, you can... They had to do a 3-number price, and he's like, I will give you one of the numbers for free, and then you only have to guess 2 of the numbers. Or you could guess all 3 numbers, and if you get that right, I'll give you a bonus $20,000 because it's at night. And she was like, I'm going to go for it. And she guessed the price, and it was right. And she got $20,000 on top of 2 garbage prizes. They were bad. It was like not horrible. It was a hot tub and something so bad I can't remember what it was. But she got 20 grand for doing it. Then she went and spun the wheel and got $1.
Oh.
Then she spun again and got $1 again. So she maxed out on money. So yes, that's what I was screaming, come on, because the wheel is like, I know when the wheel gets to that $10 or that 10-cent mark, like you're close. And I was like, come on, you son of a bitch.
You should start a YouTube channel where you do color
Autistic
commentary on Price is Right.
I've never thought of that. That'd be amazing.
I think it's a great idea because it's not manufactured joy. Like it
all.
would be great.
I was going to say, it's like just being in the living room with me when I'm watching.
And I would love like a TikTok that's just somebody, spinning the wheel and you reacting to it that quick.
Yep.
And it's probably
It's like
going to
Potter pizza,
entertain
but
me.
is it $1?
Potter pizza.
Do you get Potter pizza? Have we talked about this?
I don't believe
So
so.
on TikTok,
Oh,
there's
man.
a dispensary and a pizza place next to each other, and this guy sits in a parking lot and records people from behind, so not their face, and you have to guess if they're going to the pot place or the pizza place.
But it's so good because he's like, welcome
Potter
back,
pizza.
everybody. Welcome back to Potter Pizza. Hope you're having a great day. Potter Pizza.
And
Wow.
I think I got about an 80% track record. There's a few of them where I'm like, oh, I would have never guessed.
There was one where it was a lady riding like a mobility scooter, and it looks like she's about to drive it into the pizza place, and then it cuts out and it shows the mobility scooter parked in front of the pot place.
Nice.
It's so good.
That's my Twitch career, Blood Ocean. That's it right there. Price is Right reactions. I just go on Twitch every day for an hour and react to the Price is Right live. I mean, that would be fantastic.
That would
Holy
be
crap. That'd be a lot of
You
fun.
might as well. I mean, you're watching it anyway.
It is genuine reactions. It really is. Like, I mean, Deux and MomBrain will attest to it. I have genuine reactions the whole time I watch Price is Right, and you will definitely see me crying. When the girl was spinning the wheel for the money, I was crying. Oh, I meant to tell you. I swear to God, I'm going to move on after this. They, for Price is Right at night, brought back one of the old songs, but with like, I don't want to say a dance remix, but like with a beat. They upped it a little bit and they like sampled the original. It was so good. I was
Man.
like, this is fine with me. Like
What song?
bringing
was
a song back. I can't remember because
it?
no, it was
Bandito?
no, it was the one that goes. I just had it and I lost it. It was that one, but they remixed that for a car.
That is
at
so
the end.
hype. That shit.
Yeah. And it had like a really hard beat, and then like it was cutting up little. It was so good. It was really good. It gave me. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It was really good. I was like, I got to see if they have this online somewhere. Anyway, I swear to God, I'm done. I will take my game show talk somewhere else. I could do a Patreon just about game show talk. Moving on. Talked about Andor.
Moving on.
No spoilers about Andor, but Dew and I will both agree.
Mwah.
We're talking about season 2. Phenomenal show.
5 out of 5 show for me. I loved it.
No complaints, no anything other than it was masterful TV.
And it stuck with me. I mean, I've been thinking about it every single day. It just hit. It's beautifully filmed. Every scene, even scenes without action, were just so intense. The
Great
acting was great.
soundtrack.
The writing was great. Soundtrack was great. The cinematography, the way the directors framed every shot, like it said more than just, oh, this is great cinematography. It was like it talked about, in a way, what the characters were feeling, the way that these shots were like compositioned. I don't know. I can't speak about it intelligently, as you could tell, but I was blown away. Absolutely loved it. I heard somebody talking about what do we call this trilogy, Andor season 1, 2, and Rogue One, and he said, let's call it the pequels. And I was like, that's pretty good. I don't love Rogue One as much as I love Andor, but it's close.
Yeah, and just it was kind of a tough watch in a good way, because it's so related to a lot of stuff going on in the United States in particular right now, and the parallels are right there. And it was just, I said on Patreon when I was writing about it, it was a tough watch because of that, but it also gave me hope. And I was like, that is literally what Star Wars is about.
I was just about to say that. Like,
showing you how bad things can be, but showing you that there's reasons for hope and you can create that hope. And I was like, man, what? This is so good for this time right now. So just phenomenal show.
That was one thing I noticed on rewatch. After I watched Andor, I watched Rogue One, and there's a scene where the hotel guy, the guy that works at the hotel in Andor, says rebellions are built on hope, and then in Rogue One, Cassian says it, and I was like, oh,
it's just so good. And it's not just an unbelievable Star Wars show, it's an unbelievable show in general. It's fantastic. So watch it, people, watch it. I also talked about, as a segue, Fortnite and Star Wars, talking about how this season has been really enjoyable, but really challenging. But I've enjoyed the challenge, and how Dew and I are people who usually run away and like our traversals. But this season doesn't really allow too much for that. So we've had to alter how we're playing. And I think we're both getting to a better spot. And I appreciate where we're at. We were getting destroyed for like a week and a half there, or 2 weeks. But I think this past week, we've really like come into our own, not just us, but as a group. Like, we've really found a good spot with how we tackle situations. And we've fought some very hard fights and come out of it really well. So I'm surprise, another Fortnite season that I'm really enjoying. So
yeah, for me, it took, I always do this with every season. I always think that I like a certain loadout early. Like, I'll play with everything and I'll be like, man, I like everything, and I'm still kind of trying to find what my perfect guns are and stuff. And then I'll find stuff that I like, and then I'll be like, this is me now. This is how I play. And then like a week later, I'll be like, I'll like morph into something else. And now, I was never sniper rifles before. Like, now I'm more sniper rifles. I'm more long range stuff. I'm getting real good with a shotgun now, which I, wasn't really good with before. So it's funny how each season kind of almost makes you like get out of your comfort zone a little bit. But then once you get into a new routine, you're like, ooh, I'm going to be upset when this season's over, because this is fun.
It is funny that they can manage to thread that needle of, you find something, you get into your niche, you really enjoy it, you're worried about it going away because you're enjoying it so much. New season starts, you figure out what works for you, and then you're right back there again. You're like, oh, I'm going to be sad when this goes away. Like, to constantly be able to get back to that spot is really impressive. And I think, like I said a few times, I think the ammo situation, the lack of ammo or infinite ammo, helps with sniper rifles in particular, because, ammo is usually very hard to come by for snipers. And now you don't have to worry about it, and you get 6 shots before an overheat, something like that.
It's a good clip. You can like really, and the firing rate is quick as well. So like, people don't really have time to move, but it's like caused you to, as a player, kind of be a little more vigilant. Like, if someone starts shooting at me, like evasive maneuvers immediately,
Mhm.
like kind of thing.
Yeah. If I freak out. I always freak out if a sniper's hitting me, but yeah, now you have to be with the way that the ammo works and how fast they can shoot. So yeah, we'll talk more about Fortnite later, definitely.
Did you see in the Discord that the 8-bit Lego has a big Alan Wake cutout?
I hearted it and I
Oh, cool.
gave it a surprise face. Yes, I see it because the last thing I'm talking about is excitement and dread when it comes to exploration in video games and how the type of exploration that you do in a game either like really sucks me in or creates a barrier for entry with me. And like when it comes to things that I'm excited for in exploration, it's something like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, where you know the story is waiting for you. You know exactly where to go to continue the story. Or you can just do whatever and go out and wander and find things on your own. And it doesn't matter if you find big set pieces or nothing. You just go do whatever you want. And I really appreciate that kind of exploration. It really makes me excited. It really, like, it gives me some sort of feeling that's hard to describe. And then there are other games where you feel like you have to go through the environment with a fine-tooth comb because you're going to miss something. So it's not really it's exploration, but only because it's out of necessity. And that's okay. I don't mind doing that, but it makes it hard for me the next time I'm going to go into that game. Like I'll finish a session and then the next time I go to play, I'm like, oh, but I got that like environment. I got to make sure I really pick through and meticulously take a look at. And it just makes me nervous because I'm like, there's a lot to do and I don't want to miss out on stuff because I could miss one thing here or one thing there and it's going to completely alter how I take the experience. So I was looking to see if you guys had those experiences, and I have not read your responses yet because I haven't been to Patreon yet to do my next post. So I'll do that tonight.
For $1.
For $1, join the Patreon. So that's it. Now let's talk about news. Finally. I have to.
got music.
What?
I got music. You want to hear?
You're right there.
Is that what I sound like?
There we go. We speak your name. We speak your voice.
You spoke your voice.
I have to remember that I have to double check when I update posts, because sometimes a post used to be a top story, but the update isn't worth a top story. And I need to get better about managing that because it's flooded the top stories here this week. But
Sure, why not?
Wrong.
I understand.
Thanks for coming.
Here's our first top story that we will cover.
But I've seen everything.
Very quickly. In Europe, if you are a Switch Online member, you can now enjoy a game at no additional cost in its entirety until the 21st. So you got a few more days to get in on it.
What game?
The latest game is Plate Up. Cook and serve your dishes, design and decorate your restaurants, and expand your culinary kingdom with new unlocks, abilities, and dishes in procedurally generated locations. Classic cooking action with permanent roguelike progression. Hire your friends and fire old men, or do it all yourself. So
Is that what it says?
no.
Because I was.
It does say hire your friends.
Yeah, because I was gonna make that joke if you didn't continue on with it, because I was like, this sounds familiar.
Hire your friends and fire old men. So that's your Switch Online free game trial in Europe until the 21st. So go enjoy that.
I'm getting sick and tired of these old men.
We're already at this. Oh, what is this about? Everybody's texting me now. I'll answer this later. They asked me about a video game question.
Well, you're the guy to go to for a video game question. You know, I'd probably text you as well if I had a video game question.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored. I have to. I'm doing the podcast right now. I promise I'll text you after. Done. Don't want to be rude. My sister's texting me too, but I'm going to ignore that. All right, let's get to our first real top story.
It's like your sister doesn't know what you do every Saturday at this exact time.
I will. That is true, but this week I'll give her a pass because she's in another time zone right
She's
now.
in the
She's
hospital.
probably not paying attention. It says, "I'm dying. Please help me." I'll text her later. So a rumor came out. It's only marked as rumor because Nintendo hasn't officially commented on it. But the rumor comes from the Game Business, which is a website.
It's time to play the game.
Headed up by Chris Dring. It's brand new-ish. And Jeff Keighley, the Dorito Pope, is involved with it. Like, it's on the up and up. This isn't rumor, but since Nintendo's not going to comment, we'll keep it marked rumor.
All right.
Word is Nintendo is changing how they're handling review units with Switch 2. So when it came to press in the past, when it came to hardware, Nintendo would usually send outlets hardware 2 to 3 weeks before a system came out, so those outlets could get their hands on impressions and put together their videos and write their reviews and everything that they needed to do. Give them a little time, and then like embargoes would lift maybe a couple days before the system came out, and then you'd have your explosion of coverage. That's how it was for the original Switch, if you remember. But apparently Nintendo's not doing that with the Switch 2. So press outlets or press end outlets are getting in touch with Nintendo to be like, hey, we want that Switch 2.
Ready.
We want to review it. What's going on? And word on the street is Nintendo will not be sending them out early, or if they do send them out early, it will be very, very, very close to release date. 1 day, at most 2 before the system comes out. But it seems by and large, it will be the launch day that you'll get these hands on. So this might differ
Why?
for like the highest of outlets. So like it might be a little different for IGN. You know, IGN might get early access, but
I've heard of them.
by and large, it seems like many top tier outlets, just Nintendo's not doing this. Now, is this a Nintendo of America thing or a Nintendo in general thing? That we don't know. But here, this story in particular is about Nintendo of America. So multiple sources have said that they have heard from Nintendo that they are not sending them out early. And Nintendo is saying this is because there will be a massive day one update for the system. And I call BS on that because there was a day one update for the Switch and a day one update for the Wii U. And like, this is the norm. Every system that comes out has a day one update. There's been stories from Nintendo themselves where they're like, hey, if you're giving your kid a Wii or a Switch or whatever for the holiday season, you might want to open it up early and update it and then put it back in the box. And then that way, when the kid goes to play it, they can actually play it instead of being like, here's your new system. Now you got to wait an hour to download. Oh, it's actually going to be 5 hours because everybody's trying to download this right now. So, it's day one updates for hardware are not out of the question or not anything. They're the norm. So I call a little bit of BS on this from Nintendo. But that's the end result. So if you're looking for, like, if you're anticipating the Switch 2 review coverage, you know, extensive hands-on review coverage, it seems like that is not going to be the case by and large. Many outlets are going to be there pretty much with the regular people, the average consumer.
I guess they're thinking, you know what? We don't need it to be reviewed beforehand because we don't have any left to sell people. It's all sold out already.
There's also that, like, Nintendo could really be thinking, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, there's the people who want it already know what it is. They don't need early coverage to figure out what's going on. They're already in the know, like, and coverage will come out in a couple weeks after the system comes out. So, like, it's really, I can understand it, but, you know, Nintendo always thinks non-traditionally when it comes to this stuff. So it's not surprising, but it is what it is. I know people have asked me multiple times, am I getting a Switch 2 review unit? In the past, since I started GoNintendo, I've gotten every piece of hardware from Nintendo for review early. I would say that is not going to happen with the Switch 2. I would have said that before this news came out. Nintendo has changed how they operated. I'm not getting into details. But I don't expect one. So we'll see what happens. But if you're hoping for that early information, it seems like it's not going to happen. Now, here's the other thing. Press and outlets are pretty annoyed with it this time. Now, you know, some are annoyed because they're like, we deserve it. And how could you not treat us right? But others, I would say, are rightfully so annoyed because they're like, Nintendo, you're really hurting us here because Summer Game Fest starts the 6th. And that's like a ton of coverage. And a whole bunch of other things are happening that weekend as well that are all game related. Like, I want to say there's 2 more game events on Saturday that are like, the kind. It's like, here's a whole bunch of trailers for games and everything. And like, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to cover this. Covering a hardware launch is a nightmare in general, but now it's going to be Switch 2 comes out this day. Next day is Summer Game Fest. Next day is 2 more presentations. I'm looking at it as probably going to be the worst week of my life. It's not supposed to be that because a new system is coming out, but I'm going to have to move the podcast that day or that week. And I can't do it before the Switch 2 comes out. So I honestly think I'm going to have to end up doing like a 2 a.m. podcast on the 6th.
He's heading towards certain death.
The 6th, really the 7th, because I have to cover Summer Game Fest that Friday, literally the day after the Switch 2 comes out. And then Saturday, I can't do the podcast regular time because there's 2 press events to cover that day. And I can't do the podcast early that day. I can't be like, let's do it noon, because that'll cut into the cover, or that'll cut into at least one of the events. And I don't know how long the events go. So I can't be like podcasts at 7. Plus there's something else going on that day.
Drag bingo.
Oh, there's that. I don't have a reliable time I can do the podcast. And I can't wait long because the Switch 2 is out and I need to talk about it. So I'm going to be screwed. I really think it's going to be me at 2 a.m. on the 7th, if I had to guess, because I'm not leaving Quince to cover 2 events. That would be completely unfair. So I'm just letting you know now, our Switch 2 podcast is probably just going to be me very early in the morning. And I apologize in advance, but blame Nintendo. So there you go. Blame Nintendo for all this. I don't know what the hell's going on. The Crimson Lore says, if it means a few more units in a few more stores for general consumer, I'd say it's a positive. I don't know how that stuff works. I think Nintendo takes that and allots that from the beginning, or they take it from their company store. So they're units that were never meant to go out to public. And plus, if it's outlets, if we're just talking America, it would probably be like 50 units. It's not like it's going to be a lot. Crimson Lore goes on to say, at launch, if you are waiting to read a review before buying, it already is going to be out of stock before you decide either way. Well, Crimson Lore, not true, actually. We'll talk about that later. Let people who are going to buy it regardless buy it at launch. If you need to read a review before buying, chances are you're fine with waiting for the initial launch rush to die down before buying. That is true. I will agree with you on that. But more on that a little bit later. Analysts are so high up on Switch 2. It's crazy. They've been saying some of the nicest stuff I have ever seen. This is DFC Intelligence. They're a market research firm that usually covers video games. So they talk a lot about video games, but they put out a new report where they're, as the kids nowadays would say, real dick riders for Nintendo and the Switch 2.
Oh,
Here's what they had to say.
No cap.
According to their feature, the Switch 2 is, quote, arguably the most important product launch in video game history, end quote. They go on to say the Switch 2 will be, quote, the fastest selling system ever, end quote. Saying that it has, quote, potential to lift the video game industry that has been grappling with product delays, rising costs, and economic uncertainty, end quote. Nintendo said they're going to sell 15 million units in year 1, and there's fiscal year 1, so March to March. Not March to March, I'm an idiot. June to March. June 2025 to March 2026. So not 12 months. Fiscal year. What's that? June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 10 months. DFC Intelligence is saying 16 million sold. Nintendo said 15 because price is high. They're like, it's a more pricey system. And they're going to try their best to keep up with supply. They're going to do what they can. DFC says 16 million. But they say as long as Nintendo can keep up with supply or keep up with demand, They think the Switch 2 could sell upwards of 20 million units in its first fiscal year, which would obviously be a record. They also are projecting that by 2029, end of 2029, Switch 2 will have sold over 100 million units. So they are very, very, very high up on Switch 2. Will it end up working out that way? I do not know, but as a Nintendo fan, I certainly hope so. The first and second year are always the most telling. And as I said before, if the Switch 2 manages to sell 15 million units in 10 months, that will mean it will have outdone the Switch. But even more importantly, it will have outdone the Switch's first year. But even more importantly, it will have outsold the Wii U's entire run. The Wii U did like 13 million plus in its entire run. So we'll see. As I said, Nintendo says they're going to do what they can to keep up with demand of the system, keeping up with production. Nintendo's Doug Bowser had a big chat with IGN. Mr. Bowser was out at Nintendo San Francisco, which is their new retail flagship store in San Francisco. So Bowser was there to cut the ribbon alongside Mario. And
Are you familiar with
Mario.
the San Francisco treat?
Ding ding.
Thank you.
I never had it. Never had rice-a-roni.
Really? Do you remember?
Is rice-a-roni just rice and macaroni?
There's no macaroni with the rice.
What the hell's the roni?
I don't know. I think it's just rice flavors. It's like flavored rice.
Roni is a flavor? Like pepperoni?
Let me see.
I think that's.
What's your favorite roni? Maca or Peppa?
Yeah, I don't
What
know.
other ronies are there?
I don't know.
I think it's
That's
just.
that's just the brand name, probably because it's like simple to make rice, right? Kind of like.
Yeah, but it's like a
Make it in a roni.
starter. Like if you, it's got all the flavoring and stuff, and then if you wanted to add like whatever to it.
Rice-a-roni, great jingle. Don't want to throw Zatarans under the bus. Also a great jingle. Zatarans.
Also, there's rice-a-roni, pasta-roni, and mac-a-roni.
That's.
Which I'm assuming
I was
is like a
gonna curse. I
macaroni
was so
salad.
annoyed. So wait, tell me what's original rice-a-roni? What's in it?
Well, I think there's different flavors, but let me just. I'm trying to click on products, but it won't let me.
Ethnic spices.
So there's chicken rice-a-roni.
Mhm.
There's.
What do we got for non-meat eaters?
I don't know. I can't like
Turmeric.
click.
Just type in rice-a-roni
Turmeroni.
flavors.
Creamy 4-cheese rice-a-roni.
Okay, all right. I'm down with that. Blood,
People also ask, is rice-a-roni really the San Francisco treat?
Blood Ocean says, name a roni.
Rice-a-roni, we've been bringing flavor and convenience to your dinner table since 1958.
Hey, Family Feud, listen to me. I'm sick of your goddamn sexual questions all the time. I ain't no prude. You can have sexual questions. One a game is fine. It's funny. You overdo it every time. Let's get more questions like name a roni and get people to say Peppa and Maca. And there's got to be other ronis I'm not thinking of.
Chicken, beef, cheddar broccoli, Spanish rice, long grain and wild rice. I mean, there's so many. Rice pilaf.
Oh, give me that long.
Also, it looks like you can get it in like a cup, like a cup of noodles cup.
I don't ever really say anything like this because I don't like speaking highly of myself or self-promotion. I will say this once. There you go, 8-bit Lego Cupperoni. That's another one, cup. I will say this once and I will never say it again. If you don't like this podcast, I don't know what you like. We give you everything. We give you video games. We give you stupid rice-a-roni talk. We talk game show. What more could you want?
Now,
The spice of life.
I would say that rice-a-roni is to rice as hamburger helper is
Definitely.
to hamburger.
Definitely. Yes,
But
without a doubt.
now when you go to Hamburger Helper's website, there's a section for simply cheese.
Cheese helper.
Cheese. But then when you look at it, they're pushing the burger on you. So
Have you seen on TikTok people talking about the struggle meals where they're like, struggle meals back when hamburger helper was just a helper and it's just them stirring a pot of
oh yeah, man.
sans
like-
hamburger helper?
Oh no, do there's potatoes S.
Potato
What?
S helper.
Hamburger helper potato stroganoff.
Click on it because I want to hear how they like Yeah.
Well,
give me
the
me the flavor text. as
So it
they
says
say.
made with real dairy, and then there's like a little sticker on it that says creamy and savory sauce.
Yeah, the dairy's coming from that
potatoes,
hand. The
Not one
hand guy.
potato, multiple potatoes. Potatoes, stroganoff, hamburger helpers made with real, all caps, herbs and spices for the flavors you love most. Add your own twist into yummy bacon deliciousness? ? Stir and chop cooked bacon and cook green beans just before serving. For extra zip, serve with hot sauce.
Oh, I would try potato S.
Yeah.
Endless
hamburger helper.
options. It says.
I would definitely.
And all
We-
you need is a pound of lean ground beef, a cup and a half of water, and 2 cups of milk.
Wasn't it like
But where are the
years
potatoes?
ago where we were in Walmart and you were crying from
We
laughing
were in the
about
car because you were talking about hamburger helper because you like didn't know about it. Like you didn't.
No. I always knew about it, but there was something I didn't know.
Yeah.
Some
It was
aspect
sort of
it.
like when you didn't know that all muffins.
Oh, did you hear this story? You heard this, right? We don't need to do that.
I might have. This sounds familiar.
He didn't know. He thought that
Did we
in
talk
order
about
for
this on the
something to be
pod?
considered a muffin, it needed to have a corn base. So like cornbread, corn muffin.
Oh, okay.
I thought
So
all
he
muffins
believed
were
all-
a corn
So like a
base.
blueberry muffin would have corn
Was a
base?
cornbread.
Yeah.
And I
That's what
was like,
thought.
that is
Listen,
wrong.
I'm not ashamed. It's what I thought, and I learned something new.
Very
And what did
wrong.
I say the other day when we were at Costco?
You pointed at the muffins and you were like, did you know that not all muffins are corn based? So like
Cinnamon chip muffin.
So you like corn-based muffins?
All right,
and
fluffernutter.
none?
That's enough of that.
oh my god, look, here's the flour.
That's enough of that,
There
fluffernutter.
it is.
We were in the car the other day, and I was like, I just can't ever talk about flowers again because now I don't know what's a flower and what's not a real
When we
flower.
were at Nintendo's house, you were like, I gotta go touch that and see if it's a real flower. I
Yep.
was like, it's not a real flower.
and I touched it, and I was like, I still don't know. I still don't know.
Sorry.
Anyway, Doug Bowser at Rossaroni, Nintendo San Francisco. IGN did an interview with him, and I will tell you some of the tidbits he talked about. He talked about meeting Switch demand, and like I said, Nintendo said they're going to do what they can there. They said strong positive reaction to Switch 2 early on. Pre-orders we've seen are through the roof. They do plan to have a quote continuous flow of product that will be available through the holidays. End quote. I've seen from other insiders that Nintendo is actually keeping up production and doing a really good job with it. So it seems like Nintendo is getting units out quicker than most would anticipate, which is great news. And we have more reason to believe that, which I'll talk about in the show later today. He talked about the tariff situation, and basically Bowser was like, listen, $450, $499, it is what it is. We put that because of what goes into the system, blah, blah, blah. Didn't take tariffs into account. And he's like, that's what it is now. The tariff situation is always changing. We honestly don't know what it's going to be. And he's like, depending on market conditions, the changing market, things can fluctuate. So he's saying basically it could end up going higher. We don't know. It depends on what goes on with the market. Just like
But it could go lower too, right? That's what that means.
Once Donald arted the deal, Trump figures things out. I'm sure, everything will go lower. Do you see? He was yelling at Walmart today. I think it was today because Walmart. To Walmart's credit, came out and said tariffs are hurting. We apologize. Prices are going to go up. It's because of the tariffs. Could Walmart take a hit? I'm certain they could, but 30%, they're a business. You have to, 30% is nothing to sneeze at. So could they take a hit? Yes, but it will really hurt their bottom line. And I'm not all hail corporate, but if you're a giant business, you're not looking at taking a hit. So I don't want to say applaud, but I do recognize that. I don't want to say it was nice, but I do appreciate that they put out a public statement that was like, tariffs, here's what they are. Prices are going to go up and we're sorry. So rather than just like putting it out there and being like, oh, nothing, I do appreciate that they said it. And Trump responded by saying like, eat the cost.
I love
He's just
that,
like, eat the cost because he doesn't want to look bad.
Of course.
that we lack
Discipline.
as a society. We lack the ability in our education system to teach basic financial literacy to our society, to our people, and that we are now relying on Walmart to explain what a tariff is and how it works.
Well, we're not relying on Walmart, but whatever it is, however people learn, as long as they're learning the correct information, it's fine.
I'm not
But-
saying it's wrong for the people. I'm
Yeah.
saying it's a flaw in the system.
Oh, yeah.
But what, not that it's good, but like what could come out of this is like a lot of people do rely on Walmart. So
Yeah.
they'll be forced now to open their
Yeah.
eyes to what's happening.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure up until now, a lot of them were happy to just be like, not think about it every day. Like those of us on this side of the fence
Yeah.
look at it every day and we like cry for our country. But
And again, I want to stress, I'm not like we don't even go to Walmart anymore. We don't support Walmart. And if you have to, or if
Target.
you've chosen to go, that's completely fine. Again, I've said this a few times. We're not upset with you. You make the decisions based on your wallet and your reasoning. That's completely fine. We have made the decision that we are not doing that. So I'm not like Walmart does this, and like I said, I think it's worth pointing out that they said this, and I appreciate that. And could Walmart take a 30% hit on whatever is going up because of tariffs? They could probably do it. But I also recognize that that's not how businesses operate, and they're not going to do that.
Well, plus,
And,
yeah.
I could be like, I hate corporate America, eat the price, you go out of business. It's great. Sure. But what Dew's saying is very important. There are people who rely on Walmart as their place to go because it is cheap, dependable, local,
and
like,
maybe the only thing they
and
have.
the only thing
Yep,
they have. So,
absolutely.
The radical in me is like, yeah, eat the cost and go out of business. But the caring person is also like, we can't do that because there are millions and millions of people who
It's-
Walmart is literally the only option because of A, B, C, D, E, F.
I think that what this boils down to is
Right, Ronan.
acknowledging that it's not just a Walmart problem, right?
Mhm.
Like there's just such a vast system to take down and redo that, like, well, if we could take down one part of it, like it might be good, but it's also going to really hurt those people who are the most vulnerable.
Might not be good, might not be.
So, like, it's the same with the education. It's the same with any system, right? Like,
Burn
it's,
that education down.
yeah, man.
Linda's doing her best job.
Man,
for that.
so
All right.
he's made an enemy of Walmart, Bruce Springsteen, Taylor Swift,
Taylor Swift catching a
and
stray
he's
for no
best,
reason.
best buds with Putin, with other dictators all over. It's just nuts.
Springsteen doesn't deserve what was said about it, but it was brought on by Springsteen talking. Like Taylor's not doing anything, and it's just like,
Exactly.
is Taylor hot anymore?
Exactly. It's just
and
nuts.
I know. Did he mean musical, hot, popular, or attractive, popular? I don't know,
Does
and I
he
don't
know?
care. It's
Probably
just funny that out of
that's-
nowhere she's catching strays.
But like, if he means popular, like you're saying that Taylor Swift's not popular now. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
as she's in the middle of like a sold out tour, it's ridiculous. Anyway. Doug talked about this deodorant smells so good.
Which one?
I love this deodorant. Whatever we bought a couple months ago. Was it Mitchum?
Robert Mitchum's deodorant.
It's so good.
Give
It's
me a
like
sniff.
so fresh, right?
Yeah.
Doug talked about why pre-orders were paused. As you remember, we were set up for pre-orders on one day and they were canceled, only to go live a couple weeks later. I'll read you his full response here. He says, it was part of many considerations. First of all, and Mr. Furukawa, Nintendo's a Mitchum man. Good for you, my friend. You smell delectable. Mr. Furukawa talked about this during his earnings announcement. Our production for U.S. supplies in Vietnam, so much less impacted by tariffs as, say, China. However, some of our accessories are produced in China, and as a result, there was a need to take some pricing on those accessories as we looked towards launch and beyond. But that is a bit of a strategy. Look at this. My phone just crashed.
Oh dear.
No.
Is there something I can do to help?
There is a strategy to really understand, one, market conditions, two, origin of production, as we make those pricing decisions. So Mr. Bowser saying, when we paused pre-orders, it wasn't because we were considering upping the price of the Switch 2. It was because we recognized the price for accessories made in China would most likely see a bump, and we had to adjust for that. And that is true. That's what happened. Accessories went up by $5 or $10. So, okay, I believe you. Bowser also talked about the backlash to pricing in general, and he kind of danced around it, but he did give a response. So, there's a
dancing
backlash
Bowser's what we
to
call him.
Mario Kart World's price being $80, and that was huge, the backlash to that. Lesser backlash to the Switch 2 pricing. Here's what Mr. Bowser says, quote, I think anytime you take price, make pricing decisions. There's a level of backlash, but I'd love to focus now on the store. End quote. So,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, he's right to a degree. Yes, you're not always going to get backlash on pricing because there will be things that are priced great and most people won't complain about it, and things that are priced expensively and people will complain about it. So there's a level of backlash. That is true. Yes, there's always a level of backlash, but of course he's not going to get into it. But, kudos to IGN for trying to make something happen there.
I heard Bowser's bonus this year is going to be the sales of that Nintendo Museum Tour game. Oh, so the $10 are going.
That all
straight
goes
to
directly into his
Bowser.
bank account.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Reporting exclusive GoNintendo reporting. That's what I've heard. Mr. Bowser also talked about game key cards, and I have never been more happy that Nikki Hill is not at my side right now because I do not want to explain this again to him. We've talked about game key cards so many times. I will give one more time a very quick
what I sound like?
explanation. Game key cards are physical, but they require a download. End of story. And there's been pushback on those.
I
Yes.
want so bad to
Push
play
back?
the role of Nikki Hill right now, but I'm going to let you talk.
Thank you. So many games on Switch 2 will be game key card. Mr. Bowser has said that first party titles as it stands now will not be game key card. So we're seeing that in Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart World. Those are full games on traditional game cards, not game key cards. Whether that changes in the future remains to be seen. But according to Bowser, Nintendo has no intentions of doing that, but it doesn't mean they won't change their mind. But many third parties are going that route. In an interview with IGN, Mr. Bowser talked about why game key cards. Oh, that's another story. But he talks about physical games in general, why they're important, and that includes game key cards. He says, quote, in the immediate future, physical games are still a key part of our business, and we value our relationships, in particular with our retailers, and want to make sure we have our products available for them to sell to their consumers. When you look at game key cards, for us, our goal with Nintendo Switch 2, similar to what we are able to accomplish on a Switch, is to have the broadest and deepest library of content we possibly can. And that includes our publishing partners. And game key cards are a way that our publishing partners are able to bring more content onto the platform, deeper and larger and more sexual, more immersive content on the platform. So basically, if you read between the lines, Mr. Bowser is saying our third-party partners want to bring games over to the Switch 2 that are quite sizable. And the biggest game card traditional right now is 64 gigs. Companies have games that are bigger than that. Like Split Fiction is one, for example. Bad example, but it's an example. Those games could not fit on a traditional game card. So that leaves room for something like a game key card. A publisher or a developer could go that route, have a retail presence, so their box is on a store shelf. The consumer still gets a physical game card, although it requires a download. And as I've said many times, you can then trade it in or lend it to a friend. I said Split Fiction was a bad example because that's code in box. I'm forgetting right now there are other releases on Switch 2 that are larger than 64 gigs that are game key cards. So if game cards can only go to 64 gigs, and you have a game that's bigger than that, then that means a download is required no matter what. And if you still want a retail presence, you wouldn't pay for the 64 gig card because that would be expensive. You'd go with the game key card because that's much less expensive. And it couldn't fit all on one traditional game card anyway. So that all makes sense as far as that explanation goes. But as to whether you like it or not, that's your own decision. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying factually it makes sense. If you have a game that is bigger than 64 gigs, you either don't do a retail release, you do a code in box retail release, or you do a game key card retail release. Code in box is the worst of all of them. Game key card is, in my opinion, a step up. But there you go. That's the whole story. Hawk says, I really hope we don't have just a bunch of key cards in our future. You know what I would love to see, and I don't have the manpower, the resources to do this. I would love to know what the I would love to see the Switch library of games. I would want someone to look at the physical releases and see how many of them are actual game cards and how many of them are code in box. I'd wonder what the split would be. I would say it heavily leans towards actual game cards, but maybe a fifth of Switch releases, I would guess, could be code in box. Physical Switch releases. I don't know, but I'd love for somebody to figure that out.
So sick of talking about these game cards. Like, maybe I don't understand the concept, and I'd like to move on. So please don't have to explain yourself.
I
again,
don't mind talking to you about it.
Who gives a crap, right? Like, because I'm putting in a card, it's the same thing. I got to download and update anyway, most likely. Why does it matter if
people
don't
give
why
a crap
matters?
because they don't want to depend on a company always keeping their servers online for you to access a game.
That's the big one. That's the big one, I think.
B, they just want everything on the game card. They want to know they will be able to play the game no matter what, whether they have internet access or not.
Understood.
So those are the two big reasons.
Those are the two big ones. But the fact that you can loan it, you can trade it in, you can.
That is better than a code in box.
You got a cartridge. It's just a key card. But like,
this is the
I don't
thing.
know why people are just like, this is unprecedented. This is horrible. What the heck?
Well, I don't understand that because we heard pushback for code in box releases on Switch, but not to the degree that we're hearing it with game key cards. So why is the thing that's at least somewhat better being treated like it's so much worse? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, put the heat on Split Fiction the most. Like, that's just code in box. Like, that's the worst of the worst. You can't trade in. You can't lend to a friend. Download everything. Like, that's the worst of a worst when it comes to a physical release. Game key cards, you have to admit, even if you hate game key cards, you have to admit they're at least slightly better. You can still hate them 95%, but there's still that 5% that's better than a code in a box.
But to think that, like, to vilify Nintendo for this is like, I mean, I know they do that anyway for anything. It's just frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
But and also in Split Fiction's defense, don't you just need one copy to play with your friends? Like,
do you gotta look in the Discord?
Ooh.
Yes, that is true.
I agree with that.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yes, that
We
is
fear
true.
change.
You Split Fiction, one person needs to have it and two people can play it.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I get that's not solving the problem in the future when we can't download it anymore in 20 years or whenever that is, but
also Fast Fusion, the new racing game from Shinen, who did Fast RMX on Switch. Shinen's an amazing company and their games are killer. Really cool company, very underrated company. They're doing Fast Fusion on Switch 2 at launch, a futuristic racing game. F-Zero-ish, Wipeout-ish. They're such an awesome company.
they're like, Nintendo's not making one of these. Let us do it.
That's exactly it. Their game also is Game Share. So if I own a copy of it, you can play it with me and you don't have to buy it. So that's awesome.
That's so cool.
Also very worth pointing out, if you do want to buy it to play forever, it's $15. They're doing it's a brand new game, $15. They always price their games really good. Fast Fusion looks awesome. I've never played a Shinen game that didn't seriously impress me on multiple fronts. Visuals, gameplay, graphics. Shinen is such an underrated company. They deserve way, way, way more attention. And their technical prowess is second to almost none. They push every system so far beyond what many think is capable, and they really get down into like the dirt to figure things out, and they kill it. They're such an impressive company. Seriously, look into them. They did Jet Rocket for WiiWare. Jet Rocket is one of the nicest looking Wii games I have ever seen, and it was a WiiWare title. That game is so nice looking. It rivals and surpasses Super Mario Galaxy in visuals in multiple ways. It's a phenomenal experience. I think it went to 3DS eventually, maybe somewhere else too, but cool company. Look at them. They are worth your time and attention. They are at Switch launch. They're at Switch launch. Do not ignore it. $15. We went from retail games, which are 60, 70, $80 to Fast Fusion, which is $15. And now we're talking about free content. Free content. It's free. It's free.
It's free.
There we go. Nintendo has finally detailed the free Switch 2 enhancements for select Switch 1 titles. So we knew this was happening, but we didn't know the breadth of what was happening. So we knew, for example, Clubhouse Games was going to get a free update
CSGs
on the Switch. Oh, what am I thinking? CSGs was going to get a free update on the Switch 2. But what were you actually going to get? I will break down all of it for you because it's very interesting. ARMS, again, all of these free updates. If you already own the game, these are free updates. ARMS is getting optimized visuals for high-resolution TVs and improved image quality.
and legs. The characters are also getting legs.
It's also getting smoother movement and optimized frame rate, even when playing with 3 or more players. And it's
I
also
was just hoping for a smoother movement. It was a rough start to my day.
and it's also getting HDR support. You know what?
Less
I'm not going to.
hardships.
I'll do all of them, I guess. Big Brain Academy Brain versus Brain is getting game share support. Up to 4 people can play in party mode, share locally or online via
Check
game
out
chat.
the Big Brain on Dr. Kashiwaga.
Kawashima.
And it wasn't his game either, is it?
No, separate franchise.
Kawashima, we speak your name.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, optimized visuals for Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality, HDR support, and game share support. 2 people can play all of the courses. That's locally or online.
Wait, was that game not multiplayer before? And now it is multiplayer? Is that what they're saying? Or I own the game, you don't. I know you do, but like you don't. We could play together. Is that what that means?
I don't remember if it was multiplayer because that's one of the games where
Yeah, I didn't think
I
it
look at it and I'm
was.
like, nope, I don't want it. Like I would never play that 2-player. I want to play that on my own. So I just,
Yeah.
to the detriment of all GoNintendo readers, I posted the information, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, I love that game. So that's cool.
Yeah.
It's getting a little.
Sea House G's. Up to 4 people can play 34 of the games via game share and share locally or online via game chat. Game Builder Garage is getting optimized visuals and Joy-Con 2 mouse controls. That's great for Game Builder Garage because that's about building games and you're connecting little nodes to build out experiences. And now you can use the mouse mode controls to do it. That's really cool. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, better image quality, as we've said. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, better image quality and improved frame rate. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, better image quality, improved frame rate, and HDR support, but only for Bowser's Fury. There's also game share support for up to 4 people. So 4 people can play Super Mario 3D World, and in Bowser's Fury, 2 people can play together, with 1 player controlling Mario and the other player controlling Bowser Jr. Share locally or online via game chat. Odyssey is getting improved visuals, HDR support. 2 people can play together via game share, 1 controlling Mario and the other controlling Cappy, locally and online. Echoes of Wisdom, optimized, improved image quality, HDR support, and Link's Awakening is getting the exact same thing. So there's your free updates, everybody. Good stuff. King Broly says, really hope the frame rate for Zelda improves. So they didn't specifically say frame rate, but they say optimized for Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs. I'd be surprised if it didn't.
Radical Defect has an interesting comment in the Discord, RMC, saying that Link's Awakening was already programmed at 60 frames per second, so it just didn't always reach it. So in this one, I guess on the Switch 2, it should, I guess, run better, but they don't have to mention that it's programmed differently because it's not.
I would imagine that would be the case. You are correct. So it won't go to 120 frames or anything. It will just run as was intended. You feel it in Link's Awakening in certain parts, but not bad. You feel it much more in Echoes of Wisdom. It doesn't detract for me, but I could certainly notice it the whole time. You see it when you're moving in between areas. And there are in dungeons, it was mostly 60 frames per second, depending on what was going on. But yes, you should notice a difference more, in my opinion, in Echoes of Wisdom. And we'll all find out on June 5th, or us Switch 2 owners will find out on June 5th. I hope you will be one of them. This is for you.
Uh-oh. This always could go 50-50.
No, I mean it this time. I mean
I would like to hear the news of Deux.
it's not the news of Deux, but it's news for Deux. There's a
Views.
views. Sorry, yes, you're right. This is a rumor, but coming
I've
from
heard of
very
rumors.
trustworthy sources.
Matty Piss?
Not Matty. He doesn't do rumors.
Dark Gary?
He doesn't do. Who knows what he's doing in the shadows? To tell you the truth, the rumor is Rat Hat Redemption 2 is coming to Switch 2.
Cool.
And it's coming this year. So apparently, inside sources are claiming a next-gen patch for Rat Hat Redemption 2 is in the works for PS5 and Xbox Series X, but a port of the game is also making its way to Switch 2, and that's all coming out this year. Seems very plausible. We saw the original. Is the first one called Rat Hat Redemption? Rat Hat Revolver?
Yeah, Rat Hat Revolver.
That's on Switch, correct? Yeah.
I mean, I think just Rat Hat Redemption's on Switch.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
That's right. See, I don't.
Revolver's like the old.
Yeah.
Old
Rat
one.
Hat Redemption is on Switch. You're correct. Well, apparently 2 is coming to Switch too.
So then, do you think GTA 5
Drake
could
says
make
Revolver before that.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I was getting confused. Rumor has it Rockstar is doing a revamp for 4.
Oh yeah, I heard that rumor.
So I guess that first. I don't know.
Gotta make that money. That's why they pushed back 6 so that they could, put out a
push
re-release
back
of
6
4.
and put out a revamp of 4 and put out an upgrade for Rat Hat Redemption 2 and bring it to Switch 2. Yeah, all that, all that makes sense. So just a rumor for now, but seems very plausible. Conan Giga says this might be a good opportunity to buy both games and experience the whole saga. There you go. Great time.
This is cool.
We
That would
also
be cool to have that handheld. That'd be a cool feat.
I'm sure if that came out first year on Switch 2, a lot of people would jump on that. We know the second Super Mario Brothers movie, animated movie, is coming out April 24th, 2026. We've known that for a while. But NBC Universal had their upfronts this week.
WNBC.
Their upfronts for studios are when they show the big things they got in the work coming in the next year or two. They make announcements. That's where the American Gladiators reveal came from. So NBC Universal had their slate of announcements for what's coming up. They put out a press release after, and it's that press release we're focusing on because NBC Universal's press release mentioned that Super Mario World is coming. That is the first time we have heard the name of the movie. So apparently the sequel movie will be called Super Mario World. Many people were surprised this name was announced via press release because A, that's not usually how Nintendo does things, and B, Nintendo will probably want to put more pomp and circumstance behind it. And then that's funny because shortly after that press release came out, the press release was updated and the name was removed. So many imagined that the name was put in there by accident early. And Nintendo was like, what are you doing? And they yanked it. So now we're in the situation of, is the name wrong or did the name come out early? I would guess the name came out.
The name came out early.
So we'll find out together.
And are we supposed to assume that everyone's reprising their roles?
Oh, I'm sure that would be the case.
Wonderful.
Yeah. We really don't see that Chris Pratt too much nowadays. The era of Pratt is over. I think he did Garfield, and then not that Garfield was all that long ago, but he's not like blowing up Hollywood like he was.
Yeah, I don't know. Now his brother-in-law is killing it. Yeah, I don't know, and I really don't care. I guess Pedro came in and from White Lotus.
Oh yes.
I guess Pedro Pascal came in and taking all the
lunch,
jobs from
eating
him.
his lunch, and
well, he can't be in Marvel anymore, and he can't be in.
He could be in Marvel.
I guess he could.
Yeah, they said the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 said Star-Lord will return.
Oh, I just meant like as as Mr. Fantastic or something. Like if they were gonna make him ahead of something again. Hopefully we don't see him until they do Old Quill. in like 50 years.
I mean, I would like to see that. King Broly says Reed's newest update realizes that Nintendo will now refer to it as the Super Mario World game for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. That's right, because you have Super Mario World, the movie, and Super Mario World, the game. So that is frustrating. And
yeah, but I shouldn't even say this. This is an old Deux thing to say, but I just don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't think if you ever say Super Mario World, I don't think anyone's ever going to think of the movie.
I would never think of the movie, but there will be generations that do think of that first, without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm not thinking of anyone but myself.
As
usual. As usual.
As usual. We also have North American releases. What do we got this week? Let me tell you. Here you go. 7 Scarlet. Absurdica Rebuild. American Arcadia. Apocalypse Market Simulator. Arcade Archives Punk Shot. Aureole.
Areola?
How do you say this? Aureole. Wings of Hope. Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Cypher Monk. Cthulhu. Death Park 4K Remaster. I don't think it's 4K on the Switch. Dice People. The PC 9801 version of Runeworth and the PC 9801 version of Schwarzschild. Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time after years of delay, is finally coming to Switch May 21st. Fluffy Snakes.
Finally!
Ghost of Boarding School. Hannah's Day. Hidden Kittens, Kingdom of Cats. Into the Restless Ruin, which I've heard really good things about. Look into that. Kamitsubaki City Regenerate. Sorry. Culebra and the Souls of Limbo.
Cool, bro. Cool, bro.
Mirage Ignis Fatus. Mastroscopy. Neon Apex Beyond the Limit. Neon Roller. Neon Knight Riders. Only Up Cars.
Sequel to Up and Down. We talked about it before.
Our Exciting Summer Camp. Paper Plane. Preserve. Racetrack Maniacs. Strings Theory. The Polio game, as was said last week. Synesthesia, where you taste colors and you see music. I can see the music. And finally, the Coma Triple Threat Bundle. That's it for North America. Do you care to take on the old European releases there?
I do care.
Okay, then.
I would like to hear the views of Deux. What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with. I would like to hear the views
There you
of
go.
Deux.
Perfect. Thank you, Josh. Oh my God.
Finally. All right, it's time for the European Switch eShop releases for the week of May 15th, the year of our Lord, 2025.
Year of our Lord.
This is Deux Michaels filling in for Nikki Hill. Nikki Hill,
Nikki Hill.
we speak your name.
Speak your name.
7 Scarlet.
We speak your name.
AI Tycoon.
A1 Tycoon.
No.
American Arcadia. Apocalypse Market Simulator. Aureole, Wings of Hope. Bernard. Boxville 2. Death Park Remaster. Dice People. Digger Simulator Gold Rush. Don't Shoot First. Egg Console Schwarzschild PC 981. 981, whatever. Schwarzschild PC 9801. Epic Empire Tower Defense. Fashion Passion Puzzle. Final Zone. Forgotten Fields. Gym Lifting Hero. Hidden Kittens Kingdom of Cats. Into the Restless Ruins. Kaiju Big Battle. Phyto Fantasy. Korean Drone Flying Tour Bagatsurobang. Korean Drone Flying Tour Deojokdo. Korean Drone Flying Tour Soyado. Korean Drone Flying Tour Chaein Gun. Labyrinth of the Demon King, Laundry Simulator 2025, Linea, an Inner Light game, Magic Valley Hike, Ninja Fight, Operation Hostage Rescue.
Sounds worthy.
Our exciting summer camp. Sounds like they're trying to like big up some. Like I don't believe that it's exciting. Just the
MomBrain
way
will
it's-
probably find it exciting, but yeah, it would not be exciting.
Preserve,
Oh.
Racetrack Maniacs, Robinson Alchemy, Skydiving Simulator Wingsuit Flight, Subway Simulator 2025 City Train.
Oh, so not the rest.
I was thinking that too. Super Engine GT Turbo Spec, Tiebreak Plus Ace Edition, World at War Cobra,
Cobra.
World Cup Soccer 2026, and finally, Yasha Legends of the Demon Blade.
There is no comment.
I'm afraid
because
there's
I
no comment.
denied it. It was denied by me because it was a spam bot. Because we're getting more traffic than usual, the spam bots are coming in and taking over. There were 4 spam bots running amok on the site within the same hour this week, and I squashed them. They're gone. They're dead. One of them came very close to looking like a real comment, and I was like,
They're getting good.
They were pretty good. Not good enough, though. Up your game, spam bots. That's your news this week. MomBrain, what have you been playing?
Nothing.
Okay, Deux.
Cuckoo.
What have you been playing?
I've played some Animal Crossing New Horizons. I managed to get the mahi mahi fishing off of my dock, so I'm good probably for another couple of months as far as trying to catch animals and fish on the island. I think it's either in June or July. I got to start checking the trees for cicadas. There's like tons of different types of them. I thought I had them all, but there's like at least 3 more that I have to find, and they all come around in those summer months. So I know everyone's excited to hear about that when that happens. And it was also Ellie, my elephant's birthday. And it got me thinking, does Nintendo get to sue themselves? Because isn't Ellie the elephant in Donkey Kong?
Was it Ellie?
Because I thought we looked it up last week and we were like, it's Ellie the elephant. And then it doesn't matter.
It does.
I'm just trying to be
does.
funny.
Yes,
But,
yes, it was Ellie. I see. It's Donkey Kong Country 3, my weakest knowledge one. So I didn't remember. Yes, they can sue themselves. It's true.
Well, there are rams in the game, so hopefully there's a Rambi. I wonder if there will be. I haven't met him yet. But so that was Animal Crossing this week. Played some Fortnite, and we got to play a little bit with the AI Darth Vader, which is really cool.
It's so good.
If
Hi, Freddy Pro.
the way they're using it is great.
Yes. Yeah, I would love to dive into this with you.
So basically, you can fight Darth Vader as a boss on the map somewhere in Fortnite, and when you beat him, he joins you, and he talks to you with James Earl Jones's AI-controlled voice.
So just to clear up any issues, if there's anybody who's upset about this, James Earl Jones signed off on this before he passed away. He was okay with his voice being used for AI purposes. Like, all of that is on the up and up. It's not like they're doing this because he is dead. He said it was okay and signed off on it. So, your other AI qualms, whatever, that's fine. But just, it's not like, they're like, he's dead, do whatever we want. So
Right.
Just want to put that out there.
But yeah, so when he joins your team, you can actually speak to him. There's a button you can hold down to talk to him, and he will, I guess using his AI brain, generate an answer and talk to you as Darth Vader. And it was really, really funny. We were like messing with him, asking him all kinds of weird questions, and I was playing as Emperor Palpatine, so I was like trying to be like the boss in the situation, and he wasn't having it. He was giving me lip, but yeah, it's great. He knows obviously what character you are, so he'll say your character's name and talk to you specifically, and Lube, not Lube. Our other friend that plays just bought the Lando Calrissian skin.
Oh, I think he was Music Man when he was on the
Music Man,
podcast.
and yeah, and Darth Vader would be like, Calrissian, you are a disappointment to the Empire. So I don't know. He wouldn't say that. Like, it would make more sense in the Star Wars universe, but it
You
was
know
really
how-
funny.
Which of our friends? One of our friends was saying, Brino was saying that you can get him to call you other names, and it is true.
Oh, you just have to ask him to do
You have
it,
to.
right?
I don't know if there's a specific way you have to ask him to do it, because I know Music Man was trying and it didn't work, but you can do it, because I saw a whole video where this girl was playing and she was like, "Would you call me Pookie?" And he's like, "I'll call you Pookie." So like, she ended up killing someone, and he was like, "That was a great shot, Pookie. I like what you've done out here."
Yes. Sadly, it's I mean, it's really difficult because everyone wants to get him now. So like, everyone will land there. So it's not something that you can really make happen every single game unless you're really good. But I just would never be that creative. You know, like I have got so many ideas when I don't have him, then I'm like, oh, I gotta ask him this. And then like, you know, we actually had him on the team and I could barely speak to him. I was so intimidated.
I gotta say, as far as AI goes, like, this is one of the most fun uses I've seen. Like, I don't really have an issue with this. Like, it's obviously James Earl Jones' voice, and he signed off on it, so that's okay. It was trained off of Star Wars movies and Darth Vader, like, dialogue and text, and that's okay because Disney's in on it. So, like, everything, as far as I'm concerned, is on the up and up with this, and it's for something stupid. So I'm totally okay with it, and it was really funny. The stuff that
Yeah.
he was saying was very funny, because it doesn't just sound like Darth Vader, it speaks in the same like patterns and style that it's like he has the personality of Darth Vader as well, which, you know, if it just sounded like him, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be as good. But the way he approaches conversations is like how Darth Vader would talk. So it makes it that much more enjoyable, because it's like he's the character. So it was, yeah, I was laughing a lot. There were some really funny things that he was saying.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the whole team can hear what he says, which is great, and talk to him. The bummer is if you have more than 4 people, so you have a couple of people spectating, they cannot hear
Hi, Jovial Jeffer.
what Darth Vader says. So that gets a little frustrating for the spectators. But you know, what can you do? I think it's a cool idea. I didn't know it was a thing even, and it was a lot of fun, and it's a silly use of it, which I can get behind. And you know, who's more iconic in American fiction than Darth Vader?
Jovial Jeffer says, "Howdy, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Jovial." It's their birthday alongside Bill Paxton, Trent Reznor, Craig Ferguson, Ellie the Elephant, Minecraft Classic, and more. I did not know it was Craig Ferguson's birthday. Jovial Jeffer, what an honor to have both Bill Paxton and Craig Ferguson on your birthday. And I love Trent Reznor too, so there's that.
Yeah, that's a good one to have.
I hope it's a wonderful birthday. I hope you're doing lots of fun things and eating a crap ton of amazing food. So happy birthday. Yeah, it's you're definitely right. Like, we got really lucky when we played last night, because we got Darth pretty much without any issue at first.
Yeah.
It just worked out. When I went to go play with family, they wanted to see Darth Vader, and it was inundated with people. We could not get it done. We got close once, but it was like 4 or 5 squads flying in. It was
Friday night
insanity. We
sweaties.
couldn't get it done. So we got lucky, but yes, I definitely want him on my team more to talk to him. I've seen so many TikTok clips that are really funny of the conversations he's having. Like, somebody was asking him what his favorite Pokemon was, and he's like, it was something like, if I had to pick, it would be Mewtwo for his awesome power and mental acuity, or something. Like, it's just great. It's stupid fun. And the best part about it is you're trying to play Fortnite while you're also doing this. So you're getting yourself into trouble, because you're holding a button to talk to him and trying to focus on the game and whatever. But it's good. MomBrain in the Discord, we got somebody who bought a plant. You love plants. It's an octopus agave.
Nice.
Anything else, Stu?
We talked about it. I played some Donkey Konga. It was good to get some Oye Como Va and that Rachmaninoff song or whatever. Those are really good ones. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Played. Oh, you know what? The PlayStation Network members or whatever it's called. Every month you get, games at no additional charge. And one of the games this month was Balatro. And I was like, I know I've played, 1,000 hours of it on the Switch, but let me just get this since it's no additional charge. And of course, instead of just like clicking on it and adding it to the collection, I downloaded it and started playing it. And then I was like, this stinks. I like my Switch version better because I have all like the cards unlocked,
Yeah.
And then 5 hours later, I was like, yeah, this is great. Unlocking all these cards again. So like I played a little bit of Balatro. That's always fun. And it's so, I don't know why, because it doesn't matter, especially for a game like this, but like it runs smoother on the PlayStation and I don't know why it should. It's just a card game, but okay. So I played some of that and yeah, that's everything. That's everything for this week.
Okay.
RMC, what have you played?
Thanks for asking. I played Fortnite. We don't need to talk more about that. Very happy that finally they fixed the inverse for flying. So now I can fly. I can't believe that glitch was there for so long. But now I can hop in and pilot a TIE fighter or an X-Wing and I'm in heaven. So very happy that that's doable now. But other than that, we've already talked about everything. And then the only other thing I played was I started Alan Wake 2.
No way.
I did.
But you haven't finished those 2 RPGs you were playing.
I know, but you made me nervous last week when you were talking.
I'm sorry.
So I started Alan Wake 2. I think I'm in chapter 2. I'm playing it slowly, but I'm in chapter 2 where you go back to the forest location where the guy was dead on the picnic table and they stole his heart. So I just got back to there. I'm really enjoying it. I like the mind place. That's a lot of fun. Just like to help you process the story and what's going on, sticking up the notes and pictures. And it really does help you keep grasp of like how things are connected and what's going on. And
I became addicted to getting clues for that board that you make. It was really fun for me.
I find those little lunch boxes with the pieces of magazine in it.
All those things, like all those little clues. And then when you go into your mind palace and you try to figure out where on the board it goes, I was addicted to that. I was like really into that.
I can see it. It would scratch an itch for people who like collecting things and slotting them in. Like I could see that being very satisfying. I just like the idea of how that's presented and hearing the main character talk about trying to figure out what's going on in the mystery. And right now I've just been collecting clues and walking around. Like I haven't really had any combat minus one part. Like I've shot one guy and that was it. What I am happy to see is it has motion controls for aiming, so I'm all about that. I saw that in the menu and I've only got to do it once, but I'm very intrigued by the story. Big reason why I like the original Alan Wake was because of the story. And this time you got new characters. Like I said, there's this guy. You start off the game as a heavyset naked man wandering out of a lake, and he
why did I forget I was like he's making the that's right.
You're completely naked heavyset guy wandering out of a lake, waterlogged. You end up on a picnic table and people steal your heart and you're like, what the hell is going on here? And then you become the FBI agent Saga alongside whatever his name is, the guy that works at the company Remedy.
How great is that guy? I mean, he's great.
So it's you two tag team in this mystery to find out why this guy was killed and why it was in such a ritualistic way and what's going on out in this weird town that's obviously very, very heavily inspired by Twin Peaks, just as the first game was. But yeah, that's all I'm doing right now. It's just talking to people and picking up clues, and that's it. I haven't it's not a lot of combat, and that's fine with me. Just I'm very much there's the guy 8-bit. I'm just very, very, very much taking my time to go through the environments and make sure I don't miss anything because there's stuff hidden all over the place. And that's what I was talking about on Patreon. Like, it makes me a little nervous because when I go to start up again, I'm like, oh, I got to really scour that environment to make sure I find everything because I don't want to miss stuff and I don't want to miss a little story piece because it might make something click for me. So it makes me nervous, but I'm enjoying the story. So I got like that mental hurdle right now, but I'm forcing myself through it. And it's not like when I'm playing it, I'm not enjoying it. I am. It's just, I don't want to miss stuff in such a story heavy game where that aspect is hugely important. So, as soon as I get to a new location, whatever I'm supposed to do, I'm not doing. Like, I'm just wandering around. Like, you get to the town, and I set off in the opposite direction and wandered
I went
out
down
there
every little nook and alleyway you could go down, and then a lot of times it would just be like, you can't, I can't go this
around,
way or something.
I got to like a little park there with these two weirdos in it, these two women who are talking to each other, and they're talking really, I forget what their conversation is, but it's such a weird conversation. And that's the only thing that irks me about the game is the conversations with people. Like, you'll eavesdrop on people and you hear their conversations and it's really interesting. But then when the conversations are over, everybody just stands there. Like, nobody goes anywhere. Like, everybody just, like, characters don't walk loops. They literally just stand there and don't move. So you'll have like 3 characters that are just standing there staring at each other after their dialogue plays, and they don't do anything. I found that odd. I'd be like, I don't know, like, I just have them walk a loop into town or something and come back. And I don't know. It doesn't take me out of it, but I'm like,
don't you find the town a little odd?
The town is odd. That's very true. Everybody in the town is odd. So if there's a story explanation for it later, that would be great. But everybody does it. Everybody does it.
I don't remember a lot of eavesdropping after the first part of the game, but I
well, I mean, like, not even just the eavesdropping. Everybody you talk to, like, your FBI partner talks to the police guy in town outside of the restaurant, and they have their little chat, and you're supposed to go in and interview the 2 people at the booth. Those 2 have their chat outside, and I was listening. I'm like, what are they saying? And I do that, and then they just stand there, and they're just like looking around. And I'm like, why wouldn't they like have them go sit somewhere? Or I don't understand. I don't understand that decision. I don't. But that's my only gripe right now. But I'm very interested in the story. I'm really intrigued on what's going on. Like, I like how it's it's silly because the game is old. It's not old, but the game's been out for a while, and I still don't want to talk spoilers or anything. But like, seeing how Alan Wake and what he does for a living is tying in everything that's going on. Like, very intriguing, very interested, very sucked into the story at this point. So I am enjoying it. I guess I've only played like 2 or 3 hours at this point, so still a lot to do. But
I really liked Saga. I really liked playing as Saga, and I liked her partner, and that's all I'll say about that. I mean, I liked playing as Alan as well, but I wasn't upset when I was playing as Saga. I thought she was a good character. I really was interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I like Saga so far. She seems like an enjoyable character. I got no bad things to say about her.
Yeah, that guy Sam Lake, I have to hand it to him because it gets so much more interesting. RMC,
it gets it does
on so many different levels. It's like unexplainable. Like, I couldn't spoil it for you if I tried because it's like so interesting, and like so many different genres like converge throughout the thing. And I think I mentioned there's a guy that you'll see, an actor who's like the next Lance Reddick in it, and he's awesome. He's so great.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in the game yet, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's really great. I'm glad that you started playing it. Sorry to bully you into it, but
well, I will hopefully get it finished before Switch 2 comes out. I mean, how long is it? Do you know roughly?
It was a pretty good sized game.
How long, Alan?
I would say at least 20 hours.
Alan Wake 2 around 19 hours. Wow, very good. Yeah. Very good.
I spent longer doable because I was, like I said, I was doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you were trying to explain, that feeling, because yeah, there's some games like, you know, Breath of the Wild or like Skyrim or something where I don't feel as like I need to do this, I need to go here. But in like Alan Wake, it's not a totally open world. It's like an area, and you're like, I want to scour the area.
Yeah, everything is like meticulously crafted in that area for you to wander around and take.
And you can just tell that in a game like Alan Wake, just being an experienced gamer, you can tell like if I miss something here, it's going to be story related.
Yes, and I don't want that to happen.
Whereas like if you're in an open world game and you miss something until later, it's like not going to really affect the overall story.
Yeah, so that's why it makes me a little nervous, but I'm working through it.
It's rewarding though. I found it to be really rewarding.
And that's all I played this week. Radical Defect, I see you talking about. Radical Defect is in the Discord talking about how they're playing some Looney Tunes games. And I saw that Sorrel joined them on conversation and is talking about Tiny Toon Adventures on the NES as a gem. And I agree, Tiny Toon Adventures on the NES is a awesome game. Really good platformer. Very late era NES game, but boy, it's a really good one. And they also say Radical Defect says Buster Bust Loose is on the list. That's one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. Buster Bust Loose is a standout licensed game from Konami. Man, is that game awesome. Great visuals. So colorful, so well animated. Great music in that game and classic like Konami platforming with some other kind of stuff thrown in. Just a really cool game. Okay, there's that. Let's do questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
That can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. GekkouKitsune asked a question. If there was one thing you could change or add to the Switch 2, what would it be? I'd like to have more themes besides light and dark. At least let me pick a color. Yes, I've seen that echoed by many people. They would like a color. Anything I could change or add. The only thing I thought I was going to be saying I wanted added before we knew about the Switch 2 was voice chat. I was going to be like, just give me a standard voice chat. But it's there, and it's not standard. So it's voice chat plus. So I'm happy with that. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else I want added, and I might need a little time with the system, and then I could tell you, like, I wish I had this or that. Yeah, you know what I want? I want Switch 2 Welcome Tour to be on the system. I don't want it to be paid for $10. That's my pick right there. MomBrain, do anything you want on Switch 2 that is not there already? Or has anything changed?
I mean,
I think I'd have to like spend some time with it before I can say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, mine comes off like if you could ask a genie for a wish, what would you ask? Because I would want to be able to play, you know, games like Last of Us and Uncharted and stuff like that on there. Because then I wouldn't ever need a PlayStation or an Xbox ever again. You know, like I'd want to be able to play every game ever on the Switch 2. But that's more of like a genie wish thing.
Well, that's a reality wish too. You can make that happen if you sail the 7 seas.
Yeah, I won't be doing that. But yeah, I mean, nothing that I can think of that would change my, you know, I'm one of those aesthetic weirdos. So like I'd like different colors for the Switch and, you know, for the backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, you know, different colors for the hardware will happen at some point. But yeah, themes, we don't know. No idea.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe just a little bit more customization with the menu and things like that, but I really don't. I mean, now that I'm saying, I'm just coming up with stuff, you know, like I really don't care. As long as the games are great, I'll be playing them.
Yeah, I think we'll probably revisit this question after it comes out, because we might have some things after spending a couple of weeks with the system where we're like, oh, I wish this was like this, or I wish it had
joysticks,
this,
maybe.
Yeah, again, that'd be great, but I haven't had my hands on the Joy-Con for Switch 2 yet, so I don't know what's on there. Might be great. I've heard good things about it, and it feels improved, but you know, I need to go hands on. We also have a Patreon question. MomBrain, did you know you can join the Patreon
for $1? For
just $1. KnockOnWood did, and they asked this question: are there any hidden gem Nintendo franchises or characters you wish would make a comeback? Examples for me would be modern takes on Mach Rider, Star Tropics, or Ice Climbers. Star Tropics should 100% come back. I'm shocked that it hasn't. It's a Zelda-esque game with a completely different vibe and setting. I think that would be a shoo-in for a franchise revival. It makes so much sense. The setting would be wonderful. Nintendo doesn't really have a setting like that. That's such a good pick right there. As I've said before, Mole Mania, and I'm not joking. I just love that kind of puzzle game. I would love a new Mole Mania. I don't think it will ever happen. I don't think anyone really cares at all. But Mole Mania is literally one of my top picks. I just like that kind of puzzle experience. Other hidden gem Nintendo franchise. I would have said another Rhythm Heaven, but we thankfully know that one is coming. So I'm hyped about that. What else has Nintendo done?
I always want an Eternal Darkness anything.
Yeah, I mean, now they let that whatever it was, trademark or whatever, lapse. So who the hell knows what's going to happen there?
Well, does that mean that any old schmo can just be like, I'm making an Eternal Darkness 2?
I don't know how that works, like what the specifics are for the trademark. I don't even remember if it was a trademark for the name itself or whatever, but or the sanity system in particular. I don't know, but I would imagine if somebody tried to say they were doing Eternal Darkness 2, Nintendo would be on them for some legal reason. But yeah, Eternal Darkness 2 would be really cool. Just trying to think of very obscure or lesser known Nintendo
Mario
franchises.
Paint. You were talking about that
yeah,
last
definitely
week.
Mario Paint. Exactly. Mario Paint, get that out there. How could I not want a new Mario Paint? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's Nintendo and they got a ton of IP and a ton of franchises, but they're franchises because they have multiple installments. It's very rare that Nintendo does a one-off and that's it. I would love another Box Boy. I know that's HAL and Nintendo publishes, but I would love another Box Boy. I love that series too. And we got a decent amount of Box Boy games, but give me another. Jovial Jeffer says, my 7-year-old is experiencing Mario Paint right now for the first time. Holy crap, you're raising that kid right. Yeah, Blood Ocean, that's a good one. Punch Out. Time for a new Punch Out. How about that? New Punch Out. We haven't had one since the Wii.
Yeah.
Is this really a video of right now? This is amazing. This is great. Oh, that's on that TV and hearing that music. Oh, that's bringing back a ton of memories for me. Holy crap. That was me in my living room for hours on end, drawing the dumbest stuff or playing the fly swatting game. Oh, man, loved it. So that's my pick. 8-Bit Lego says, Switch had so many franchise revivals, it's hard to not think of ones that didn't get brought back. Yeah, new Kid Icarus would be great. That's what we've only gotten. We had Kid Icarus Uprising on the 3DS, and then we haven't seen anything since. Golden Sun, I know many people would like to have a new Golden Sun. That's great. Radical.
Golden Axe.
That's not Nintendo, MomBrain. And we're getting a new Golden Axe. We know that. 100% new Golden Axe. Glover, not Nintendo, but everybody's always clamoring for a new Glover. How about a Glover game with a tie-in where it's the Hamburger Helper glove?
Oh,
I mean,
perfect.
the marketing's right there. Game sells itself. Any others are we good?
Elebits? That's not Nintendo.
Not Nintendo.
That's Capcom. Konami.
We had what, 3 games? There's a Wii one.
Were there
and a
3?
DS one.
Huh.
Maybe there were only 2.
I've only played the first one. I never even played the sequel.
I want another. Well, I got great news for you. You can play another right now. Let's see. Elebits.
Kororimpa? That's not Nintendo.
That is not. That was Hudson, so that would be Konami now. But yeah, 100% on that. I definitely, man, couldn't believe that was a launch game for the Wii, because I was just like, do people really want this kind of game? But it sold well enough to get some sequels. So there is Elebits, and there's Elebits: The Adventures of Kai and Zero on the DS.
Oh.
So maybe there's only 2.
So it's a DS game. The sequel's a DS game. Man,
Yes.
I didn't even realize that.
And it's not called Elebits in Europe. It's called Eledies. Eledies nuts.
That's why they changed the name, because of immature Americans. They knew we were all going to say that.
All right. That's that. that means it is time for music. Send your music to go. Oh my God, 8-bit Lego. How did I not say that? Star Fox. Yeah, new Star Fox, please. Send your music to GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintPod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
Send or put MomBrain in. Put music in the title. How about your local MomBrain? I had a brain fart there. So sorry.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
Song. Win. 1. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Wow. Okay.
My name is ready.
Could you move this cup, please?
Sure can.
Thank you.
This time, we're ready.
I've heard really good things about that new soap opera, by the way.
Excellent. Okay, my sweeties. Here we are. The very first song I have for you comes from our buddy Wired.
Does this sound like a handheld system? Or?
There's a little bit of compression on it, which makes me think it's not a handheld. Not enough for a handheld, so it's got to be GameCube or Wii.
Wii.
But I got no idea what it is. It sounds very, very vaguely familiar, but I got
You played it.
Oh, God. Set myself up to sound extra bad. I don't know. I'm not even going to... I don't even know where to start.
We're not going to get there.
I'm not going to get there.
It almost sounds familiar to me.
All I know is it's not first party.
I think he really liked it, so you might have played it,
Yeah.
but I can't be sure.
On the
I
Wii.
really liked it.
I'm pretty sure
and
you
I
did.
can't think of what it is. And it's on the Wii. There are things to work with there. I'd just be guessing. There's so much on the Wii. I don't know.
Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
No.
It doesn't sound like super serious. I'm sorry. It doesn't sound extra serious to me. It
I don't
sounds
think it
like
is.
something that
Oh, okay.
isn't serious,
Like
but this is a
Luigi's
serious.
Mansion
Yes,
kind
yes,
of
yes,
feel.
yes. You got it.
Like Epic Mickey.
It is not.
Great guess. Didn't really like that, but great guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know.
It was Zack and Wiki.
Oh my god.
Right? You really liked Zack and
I
Wiki?
loved it. Yeah, me and Matt Casamassino over at IGN did a campaign to raise awareness
Matty
for that game.
Cass.
Did it work? No.
I'm so sorry. Dude, did you play it?
I never played that one. I
What
think
a
Nicky
gem.
Hill played that one with you, right? Or
He did play that, I believe. Yes. What a gem that
If
game
Nikki
is.
had been here, we would have got there.
We knew it was going to go unloved. We tried to make it loved. Reviewed really well. And people didn't love it. They didn't show it love. How about that? They didn't show it love. The people that
judged
did play
by
it
its
loved it.
Title is what they did.
Here's one
It's what
from
they did.
Come on. There's so many movies, TV shows that start with names like that have been hits. Zack and
Miri
make a porno.
Perfect.
There you go.
Hmm.
Come on. Will and Grace.
Perfect.
Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley.
There you go.
Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy. See, the list goes on and on.
Steve and Urkel.
This next song comes from GekkouKitsune.
Did you say Steven Urkel? No, Steve and Urkel.
Oh, we know this.
Quack. Quack. It is Super Mario Galaxy 2,
Yes,
but it is Super Mario 64.
it's Throwback Galaxy.
Did you see that someone found out that if you leave
Oh, I posted about it. Yeah.
yeah,
Great video.
Super Mario 64 open for like 14 months or something?
Yeah.
Like it's something crazy happened.
Excellent.
It was that guy, Kame, whatever, I forget. He is the king of deep dives into Super Mario 64. That's his thing. He finds out stuff no one else ever knows.
Good for him.
And that video, if you watch the whole video, I really recommend watching his videos because they're fascinating. That video is filled with a whole bunch of weird stuff like that one bit. Like, something weird in the menu and something weird with the sound effect with the shark. And the video is fascinating. Love that guy. So good.
All right.
He's the next Pop Fiction.
This one's from
Definitely fills at least part of that void.
Jess I.
Oh,
we know
yes.
this one too.
Oh, yes. I know it. This is GBA. And all these instruments are a hallmark of this person. This is... So I know for sure it's a Mario and Luigi. And I'll start with Superstar Saga.
That's correct.
Man,
does it have that
I
sound?
must have played that one. I know I played Bowser's Inside Story, and then there was another one I played. So maybe it was that one. Because that's
Same composer for those two games. So
it's a great one. Great tune.
Here's one from NicoDarunia.
Shantae,
Yes.
Man, we gotta
turn it up.
make that game show and get you on that game show we make.
Can't believe I'm gonna have a new Shantae to play this summer. Man, what a time to be alive. I'm so happy I live in the era of Shantae.
Have you listened to the soundtrack to it yet?
The new one? Not officially out, but I have thought about going on YouTube to see if somebody ripped it, but I stopped myself. I've been obsessing with the songs that are in the trailer so far. And did they bring a tear to my eye? Yes. But yeah, I haven't done, like, I'm sure somebody's ripped the soundtrack already. But
So for you, is every Shantae game great? There's not a bad one in a bunch? They're all great?
I have not played a bad Shantae game. There's no spin-off Shantaes. They're all mainline Shantae games, and they're all fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I love Metroidvanias. I love games with great music.
We want to hear it.
I love pixel art. Not all of them have pixel art, but...
And you love Rowdy Tops.
I love Rowdy Tops. I mean... The only complaint you could make is about the original Shantae, which is a big Metroidvania without a map, but they've remedied that in the re-release. So outside of that, are they amazing Metroidvanias? No, but they're really good Metroidvanias with really good soundtracks. Like they're great games. They're just great. WayForward's a great developer. They're just a really, really solid, dependable developer that has a passion and expertise in certain genres, and Metroidvanias is one of them, because they made The Mummy Demastered. Excellent game. Excellent soundtrack. Metroidvania. Really good. And nobody saw that movie. It was the Tom Cruise Mummy. It sucks because then that hurt the game. The game is so damn good. If you can get that game, you can get that game now. If you can get it on sale, it's cheap no matter what. But it's such a good Metroidvania. It's a phenomenal soundtrack. I just listened to that soundtrack again this week. It's an awesome Metroidvania. Go
Interesting.
Play it. Go play it.
You know that it's like back in the day, it used to be like a bad NES game based on a good movie, and now it's like, oh, here's a movie video game, or a video game movie. No, here's a movie video game, and it's good, but it's based on a bad movie.
And WayForward is like one of the few companies you can turn to nowadays and be like, hey, turn our game into a movie, or turn our movie into a game, and they'll make a good one. Like they know how to make a good Metroidvania. The window dressing is whatever the movie is. So they can work with that. That works. Their work, come on. The River City Girls, great beat 'em ups. That company knows how to make beat 'em ups really well. Again, stellar soundtracks and those. WayForward kills it. I love WayForward. Anyway, go ahead.
This one's from Radical Defect / Master Higgins.
I might have screwed up.
Okay.
Turn it up. Oh my God. Such an underrated soundtrack. Soundtrack is so good. I tell the same story every time with this soundtrack. The composer on his soundtrack wanted some of the songs to have guitar, and he didn't have anybody to play guitar. So he learned how to play guitar for this soundtrack. Every song in his soundtrack is awesome. This is Yoshi's Woolly World.
That's right. Bounce About Woods.
And it's a great platformer too.
Can anyone in the Discord tell me what song number this is for the music section?
Woolly World, you said?
Yeah.
What's the difference between Crafted World and Woolly World? This is the one that looks like yarn.
You got it.
You got it.
So good. So good.
Ooh, Blood Ocean 07 said my 8-year-old son guessed this game.
Good for them. Get them on this. Get them on the podcast. Does anybody know the numbers? Did they say? I'm just gonna put another number.
Radical Defect says, I feel like it's 3.
It's
MomBrain.
definitely not, you liar.
This one comes from Mikey3319, who wishes to let Rami Cowboy know he is loved and he makes people laugh.
Well, thank you. I love you, and you make me feel loved.
You're the magical man from
I
Happy
may
Land.
be down on Drew Carey as a Price is Right host, but I do like his love for the audience, and I do like that he wishes everybody at the end, or he makes sure everybody takes care of their mental health at the end, and he tells the audience he loves them. I like that a lot.
Well,
So there you go. It
Mikey,
ties back.
we're sending you just a little extra love.
Oh my God, it's so. I can't even tell what system this is. It's so bad. This has.
It's got to be like a Bugs Bunny or
All right.
something.
Not
I was gonna
Bugs.
say it's got to be licensed
It is.
with that weird ass noise. It's either really bad Nintendo NES or really bad Game Boy Color.
NES.
It's NES.
Yep.
I've never heard this in my life. I do not know what this is. We all it's licensed. That's all we got. We could go on forever. I got no clue.
I mean, it just seems like it would be a bad, like, Looney Tunes or Disney something.
It's not Looney Tunes, and I don't believe at the time it was Disney.
Oh, she just sealed the fate. Then I know what it is. I don't know the name of the game, but it's got to be Muppets.
Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't even look like the Muppet logo. It's Jim
I
Henson's
can't
Muppet
even-
Adventure, Chaos at the Carnival, but it's like,
I have no clue what that is.
so my guess is that it was originally supposed to be some other game, and they were like, yeah, shoehorn the
Okay,
Muppets into
they
here.
did that a lot back then. I'll give that a 0.5.
Doki Doki Muppet.
This one comes from Egmond, who wants us to
Egmond.
know that
We
a
are loved.
different version of this song was the song that they danced their first dance with their wife.
Gotta be sentimental. Right off the bat, this is DS.
Yeah.
This is Elite Beat Agents.
It is.
Every one of those games, or what are there? 2 games. They throw in a song or a story in there where you start crying. God, that's good. This is the best wedding song I've ever heard.
This is a real song, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was in that game?
Yeah. That is so funny. God, that's funny.
What is this, Air Supply? Or,
I would ask you.
it's it might be something like Japan or something. Like, I want to say it's one of those bands that like has a name after a city or
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago.
It's a great song.
Great
love it.
wedding song. Great wedding song.
Yeah.
All right. That was from Egmond. I have 2 left by my count.
You're the agent in my life.
Oh, wait. I might have. Hold on. I might have 3 left.
Agent, not Asian. Agent.
I might have 3 left. I might have made a little mistake here. Would that?
1, 2. No, I'm out of whack.
All right. Well, I'm going to do 3 more.
I'll take it.
Okay.
3. Yep.
All right. This one is
Stop
from
looking at me, Swan.
Tentavision.
Oh yeah. Listen to this. A whole bunch. Oh yeah. Come on. Dead giveaway right there. It's Splatoon
Ooh.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack. Name of Austin and I, when the original Splatoon came out, we did a video where we were trying to figure out what the Inklings were saying in one of the songs. Now we know they weren't actually speaking English, but we made a video guessing what they were saying, and it's still one of my favorite things we've ever done for GoNintendo. Go hunt that down. Man, I love that. That was such a cool, fun, stupid project because we would sit in the lobby. We had access to the game before it came out, so we were only playing with press, and we sat in the lobby longer than usual because you had to wait for, one of 50 people to join in. And we heard the song in the lobby forever, and we were like, what are these things saying in the background? And thus it created a video.
Well, this one's from Freddie Fro.
Tunic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tunic's got an awesome soundtrack. It's not really a soundtrack like you'd hum to yourself, but it's great background music, especially for the type of game Tunic is.
Yeah, it really lends itself well to the game.
Awesome soundtrack.
Right. That was Tunic. And this one is our last one, I believe.
Yes.
And it is from Joe Shabadoo.
Oh,
I know this.
come on, you got it. It's not very old.
I know.
It's in the last couple of years.
He says it's mind-bending grooves.
Son of a gun. I know this. Oh, this is a Tears of the Kingdom.
You
Yes.
got there.
I wasn't thinking that at all until you heard that weird those weird whatever those,
I was gonna say if you didn't do anything, I was gonna be like, listen to the dissonant note.
Yeah, those are great.
All right, well, that's
We got 8.5 out of 10.
6 out of 9.
You had a really good week
I had
with
a
this
good run.
music.
Yeah, I needed it. I'll take it. One time, and that's sad to say, but that's the end of the show. This is where we end it.
Oh, you'd like to think that, wouldn't you? But I'm afraid I have to jump in here with some important things to say. Deux views. It's never news. Rumor of the week with Do Michaels.
Oh my God, what kind of AI craziness is this shovel? What?
Oh, wait, in
What
the
is this,
Discord?
Mom Brain? What letter is on that man's
I
hat?
think it's a B.
It's an AI bee if I've ever seen one. But we don't have bees here. We have spiders and flies.
I mean, that spider and that fly are great.
The
Nice.
spider and fly are having a great chat.
That's
Without a doubt, I love
awesome.
that. Little tiny microphone. Are they giant spiders and flies or tiny microphones?
You'll never know.
Okay.
Tiny microphones,
Not
I
for
think,
me
is
to
the
know.
funnier thing to think about.
Well, I mean, George.
Oh, he's got that tiny
It's
microphone.
true. It's true.
Just fine by me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, and if you're in the Discord, you can see that my spiders and flies have arrived after scouring the internet for rumors, video game related, to bring back to me. And then I can let everybody here on air know that, hey, here's a rumor, and I'm going to tell it to you. But there is a note on this rumor, actually.
Sorry, I was looking at Mom Brain's picture. I thought it was starring. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. But I do have to mention this rumor of the week is brought to you by being true. It's actually true this week.
Oh, wow.
So we don't normally have anything but rumors, but today I'm going to say something, and it's going to be absolutely true. Absolutely true. And you're going to take it to the bank because it's definitely not made up. So
Definitely not false.
we heard earlier about Nintendo's craziest
Higher.
new hire, ladies and gentlemen, Kazuhiko Hachiya. He was he's an amazing inventor that Nintendo wanted on the team. He's They call him half of the Japanese Wright brothers because of what he's done with the Nausica plane.
Did not know that.
Yeah. And they also, what was the other invention that we said was cool that he did?
The glasses to see each other, the hoverboard.
The wacky wall walker.
The hoverboard, that's what it was. And he's been working hard with Christopher Lloyd to create a hoverboard that we don't have time to go into today. The actual true story is that Kazuhiko Hachiya, who we all know invented Momo, the pink bear that helps with emails.
Email bear, yeah.
Nintendo hired him. Here's what they wanted to do. They wanted to get Momo in the next Smash Brothers game, but Hachiya-san wouldn't do it unless he was part of the Nintendo crew. So what they had to do was they had to take Charles Martinet and make him an ambassador, because they can't, I don't know if you knew this, there's only a certain amount of employees they can have at one time at Nintendo. This is all written here by the Spiders and Flies. And so Martinet became an ambassador, opening up a room for Hachiya-san to come in. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the newest Smash brother is Momo the pink email bear.
Wow.
So everybody,
First new entry
excited
to the Smash Brothers roster for the next installment. That's crazy.
It's true. It's true.
Hey, there you go. Thank you, NicoDarunia, the Scrub Daddy video from Annie Austin and myself. Man, Smash Brothers is big news, and to get the first information on a brand new character for the roster, that's crazy.
Yeah, we got there.
I look forward to seeing that official reveal, and very happy and prideful that we were the first to get that news.
Wait, did he say this was true this week?
It was true, yeah. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Yeah.
The Smash
Wow,
Brothers story.
guys.
This is
That's
going to break
crazy.
the internet. This kind of stuff is going to break the internet.
And this is what you can expect from us here at GoNintendo.
It's all true from now on. All right.
So, did you know it's not a rumor that not all muffins are corn muffins?
It's not. I found that out. Red Souza says this segment is great. You should do it every week. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we will.
There's no way that there's that many true, like,
Trust in the spiders and flies. All right, everybody.
They work
Thanks.
all week.
Thanks for watching.
they're not unionized, clearly.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
We got a little after show. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? Or are we done here? What's happening? What's happening? Blooders can't confirm rumor with my Smash shirt. Oh, perfect day to wear a Smash Brothers shirt because that very true information come out.
2 weeks ago, they were out looking for comic books, I think.
Oh man, we got, what did we get in the mail? Well, oh, it's the Costco magazine. We got the Costco Connection, whatever it is. It's like a
Huggy Bear
little
Connect.
hi Roth. Just a little look at what's coming out in Costco. And it smelled exactly like the smell of the comic book shop here that I used to go to. And it made me tear up while I was getting the mail. I was like, oh, the comic book shop. I used to go there all the time before the pandemic. And man, it was.
Do you ever just go to your comic book collection and smell?
No. First off, it's in the hidden part of the basement away from Piper, so I'm not down there often. But it makes me too sad because it reminds me of times gone by, so I don't do it often. But I do look at the comics on my wall every single day. When I walk in, I look at the comics. I'm like, yeah.
Did you got to show Deux the poster that you got?
Go ahead.
Because you're such a good
Right
boy.
behind me. Do it.
I saw that rolled up and I was curious what we
That
got
fresh
working.
wood and paper smell. That's right. Yeah, if you're going to show it to Deux, you got to show it to the podcast too. And then we're out of here. And 8-Bit Lego, thanks again for dropping the booms.
Oh, cool. That's a cool poster. Wow, looks cool.
It's a Cowboy Bebop poster. And I don't know what we're going to do with it, but we're going to hang it up.
That's
but,
You know what?
awesome.
We need to make an IKEA trip because we can get a frame for it.
I was
there.
going to say it deserves a frame because it's so cool.
We gotta get
Yeah,
that
it has to be
outfit.
framed. Yes, that's what I was going to say. Well, if you weren't going to breakfast with another friend tomorrow, we could go.
We go after. It's not.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that if you want to go.
I don't,
That other one. Why is that one closed on Sundays?
oh, right.
We could go to the regular one.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Oh, Jovial. I remember that. Yes, we still say it all the time in our regular life. But We'll just have to wait and see. I mean, Josh says it.
You don't.
Josh still says it. All right, everybody. That's all we
Later,
got.
Gators.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. And we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. And we